I'll leave it at the 4.
She has her Learn Radio page.
I think this has to count as in
Learn
731.
Radio. Yeah. Learn
Really
Radio.
brought her up. Yeah, Learn Radio is like her fan page. But somebody invited me
There's
to
a Learn fan page?
Learn Radio is her fan page. Then she has her personal one, which I don't know. I'm not
This
invited
is
to
on
that.
Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
Okay.
And does Learn run the fan page of hers?
Yeah.
Okay. She has somebody do that.
Just Jackson's the gatekeeper there.
It's her page.
How many fan pages do you manage, Jackson?
One too many.
Yeah, diversify. That's what marketing.
But then somebody invited me, I don't know if it was Ray Beersdorf or
Ray Bork.
Ray Beersdorf, but somebody invited me to Learn Arena. And I said, I don't know what this is.
Learn Arena.
So I accepted, and Learn runs that too.
What is Learn Arena?
I don't know. It's just.
Is that on Facebook?
Yeah, Learn Arena.
Can it host the NIT?
So I joined that, and there's people that post on there, and Learn responds to some of the stuff. So I guess you got 3 pages.
Well, that's an interesting picture of the LearnZ there on the Learn Arena.
Well, get in while you can, because that page is about to be shut down.
2.6 million followers?
2.6 thousand.
Oh,
26.
I was like 2.6 million.
the Learn Arena. She's dressed up in a skeleton get-up.
Yeah, I kind of like that a little.
Okay.
Look at the hands. She's got a nice hand.
Cut. 5.
They all just revel in the fact that, Iggy may get screwed. Let's get on here and you got screwed. You're not getting anything. Look at that site. Oh, my God, I hope he gets screwed. They got your card. You're broke. All just so happy that I may get screwed.
Jennings, is there a lot of schadenfreude out there?
I mean, it's sad, isn't it, Ken?
Go look at it all. They couldn't wait. They couldn't wait to
I
say
didn't think
I'm
it was
getting
you
screwed.
that posted it, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was asking the fan page,
Well,
what do you
that was-
think?
That was maybe not your best move.
I hope I get this patio furniture and I put it together and it's on my patio and take a picture and say,
And you'll sleep with multiple listeners' wives this summer.
Well, this patio could get me laid, this patio furniture.
Cut. 6.
Dear Deidre, my boyfriend's penis smells like fish, and it's putting me off.
Well, that might be
Not the other way around.
a issue.
I'm worried he has an infection, and I told him to see his doctor, but he says I'm overreacting, and it's normal. He's 29, and I'm 31, and we've been together for 5 years. The fishy smell has only been a problem for the past year or so. Wow, that's very tolerant.
She's gone a whole year?
God, morning, ladies.
Very tolerant. I did wonder if he'd caught some nasty STI, but I know he hasn't cheated. We've always used condoms, but lately I don't feel in the mood for shacks at all, certainly not all. He thinks I'm going off him, but he's not the problem. It's his smelly penis. It's reached the point when I won't let him touch me at all unless he's come straight out of the shower. What could this smell be? Deidre's got an answer. It's great.
I'd like to hear the answer to this.
It probably isn't anything sinister, and there's no reason to think he's been unfaithful. It could simply be a yeast infection.
Oh, my God.
But most likely it's smegma, the naturally occurring lubricant on the gentleman's tool, which can build up behind the foreskin if not cleaned thoroughly. Your boyfriend really needs to see his GP to be sure of my support pack standing up for yourself.
Look, there doesn't need to be a support pack with this one. This is a smelly penis. You don't need anything.
The support group?
You could use a group, not a package.
Jennings, it's again called the support pack standing up for yourself.
What does that got to do with anything? Standing up for yourself.
And those were the cuts of the week.
I mean, what the hell is going on?
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT-FM, HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Guys, the Karate Kid was on AMC yesterday. Did Doug catch it?
I didn't watch it. Of course not. Of
I
course
saw it.
not.
You think it started with some music and then ended
I
with
have
some
no
letters?
idea and don't even care.
That Cobra Kai still evil.
For much of the day, I was in the middle of one of the most ridiculous episodes of my recent life.
What happened?
We had a graduation party for young Greg, finally. We've been going to graduation parties all summer.
University High School class of
Yeah, so we
2014.
finally got around to ours. And the wife says, you have to go pick up the pulled pork. I said, okay, where am I going? She goes, you're going to Ollie's in Fenton. I have a recommendation that Ollie's in Fenton is a great place for pulled pork, so that's where I bought it from. So she gives me the address, 1, 2, 5.
How far do you think it was?
Well,
12 minutes.
from my house, 10 minutes, maybe 12.
Yes!
So I Google in the address. I head towards Fenton. How hard can this be? Ollie's at that address. I get to the address. It's like an old shut-down warehouse in the middle of Old Fenton. I said, what the hell? What the hell? So I call home. Nobody answers the phone. Who knows why?
Because they don't
answer the
take your
phone.
calls.
So
You're just a servant.
I drive her all around. I say, well, there's got to be an Ollie's Barbecue. So I Google Ollie's Barbecue, Fenton, nothing. Ollie's Barbecue, St. Louis, nothing. Call home. Nobody picks up the phone. drive to Old Town Fenton, downtown, looking for Ollie's. Drive in, nothing. Finally, they call me from home, say, did you get the pulled pork? I said, no, there's no such thing as Ollie's Barbecue in Fenton. They go, oh, it's not a store, it's just a guy. I said, what do you mean it's just a guy? I'm just buying pulled pork from a guy who's standing around Fenton? Well, that's right. So they call Ollie, and Ollie calls me and says, I'll meet you behind the warehouse with the pulled pork. I said, what? He says, you got the cash? I said, what? Yeah, you got to pay cash for pulled pork from a guy standing around a warehouse in Fenton?
What are you serving to your guests?
Yeah. So I say, okay, I'm coming for the pulled pork. He says, I'm in the red LeBaron.
LeBaron?
No, the red Suburban. Red Suburban.
You're part of the LeBaron underworld.
I was in the LeBaron. He said, I'm in a red Suburban. So I go back to that first warehouse where I was, and sure enough, he's sitting there in a red Suburban by the warehouse just with the pulled pork in his car. And I get out, and he picks up the pulled pork. He takes my cash. He puts the pork in the car and drives away. I said, who buys food this way? What are we doing? This is how you buy heroin. I thought if there's a policeman watching this go down with me handing him the money and taking away boxes of food, he thinks I'm a drug lord.
Can I ask a question? Are you ready for a follow-up question?
Sure.
Okay, so your wife set this up, and she told you to go to Ollie's Barbecue.
Ollie's. She just said go to Ollie's.
And does she think you know this guy?
That's what I yelled. I said, where's your communication skills?
Woman? Did you call her woman?
You tell me this is not a store. Oh, I'm hopping mad. This is the most ridiculous way to buy food I've ever heard of. I'm buying, like, pulled pork on the black market? Really?
And?
For cash?
And how was the pulled pork?
And then we take it home, had this big party, and I swear to God, 5 people, totally unsolicited, came up and said, that was the best pulled pork I've ever had. I said, who put you up to the question? Nobody. That was just great.
Ollie.
It's yeah.
This is Ollie Raymond, who used to work at...
Ollie Raymond, the weather guy. No, it was not him. No. It was the
He
darndest
used to work
thing.
at KMOV, and now he has a underground pulled pork business.
I guess that's what it is. You got to pay him cash, and then he gets out of there real fast.
How much did he charge you?
It's $200.
Cash? Yeah,
for like
cash.
3 big trays. Yeah, oh gosh.
Did your wife tell you that?
No paper.
Benjamins?
No paper trail.
Well, wait a minute. Now, did your wife tell you needed cash?
Yeah, I had it.
All right, because you don't strike me as a guy that's going to carry around hundreds in cash.
Well, I did on this day because I was going to meet Ollie. I thought it was a barbecue restaurant. Nope, just a guy. Just a guy standing out there in the parking lot.
Did you have any of the pulled pork?
Yeah.
Good?
It's pretty good. All pulled pork is the same.
Oh.
I kind of agree with Doug on that. I don't know much difference on pulled pork, but I'm not a big pulled pork guy, so maybe that's the
Did
issue.
you wash it down with some tap water?
Ooh.
I had some bottled water, actually.
Ah.
Live an eye on the hall.
Yeah, good for you, Dougie.
Plus.
I did. Yeah.
Guys, I'm enjoying your program this morning from the Tampa airport. You sound spectacular today. # coming home.
All right.
Who was that?
# coming home.
Who's coming home from Tampa?
Don't.
Well, tell us who you are. Don't just say I'm coming home.
Be honest, Doug, this is not the first time you've paid cash for a man's meat behind a warehouse.
Oh, wait, this is an email.
Yeah, it's a text.
I don't have my suspension log, Yule.
Ryan Kelly, you're always a guy who keeps it 100, including with your hero.loan. Tell us about that.
Look at you, dripping over there with the smoke. We do keep it 100, I'll tell you that. At HeroLoan.com, you can buy a house with no money down. You've been in the military, family member's been in the military, and you want to buy a house, but you're worried you just don't have the down payment. With the VA loan, you can buy a house, 100% financing, no money down. At HeroLoan.com, the only way to VA.
You're the one dripping with smoke.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago and I still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
This St. Patrick's Day, celebrate with Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple blended, triple distilled, smooth sipping Irish whiskey. Drink as the Irish do, raising a dew and a brew and a toast to good friends and company. May you work like you don't need the money, like Jackson. Love like you've never been hurt, by Doug. Dance like no one is watching, like Ken. And live every day as if it was St. Patrick's Day, like Tim. Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Glasses up to responsible drinking. Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. 40% alcohol by volume. 80 proof. Copyright 2021. William Grant & Sons, Inc., New York, New York.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You are listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 HD2 FM, TMASTL.com. And come on in, friends. The water is warm at the Singles Bar. That is the TMA YouTube channel, youtube.com/TMASTL. And Doug, as you know, now 18% of the ladies or of the viewers are ladies.
I just don't know about that.
It's Jackson's data. Look it up.
I don't know where he's getting this data. Let's call the whole thing off.
If you are watching on YouTube, you see, or if you're following Iggy on the Twitter tweets, you know that there is a new addition to the Michelob Ultra Studios. We know that there's going to be a Michelob Ultra neon sign put up at some point, but that is not what is put up this morning here as we get underway in the Michelob Ultra Studios in our Munganast 7 o'clock hour, stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Iggy, why don't you tell the friends of the Feather what is going on?
For people not, I don't know, can you see it on YouTube?
Doug, can you see it on YouTube?
I'm not on YouTube.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Look at Doug's camera.
Yep, there it is. It's right.
It's right behind me.
Might be perfect. There's a Learn cutout.
Do we need to move it so that it's right behind you?
No, it's fine. I didn't put it up.
You didn't put
I
it
didn't
up.
either.
You did not put it up.
No. I came in this morning. I was here.
There's not really a good backdrop for your camera. If you're looking, it kind of...
And Iggy's on camera 3.
Well,
Yeah, but
Peter's
Doug's
at
is
camera
perfect.
3. It is camera 3.
I think whoever put it in here put it that way.
So we don't know who put it in here.
Oh, I don't know.
No, I mean,
they probably
Jackson
thought-
said he was here till 5:30 yesterday. The man is just a workhorse.
He is a workhorse.
He was here till 5:30 yesterday and somehow had time to put up my Kathleen Madigan interview. Thank you for that, Jackson.
You bet.
You could have waited. You had so much to do, but thank you for that.
Happy to help.
But he said when he left at 5:30, it wasn't up here. So it had to be put up after Jackson left at 5:30. So I don't know. Can I take a guess who did it?
Doug, would you like a guess? Because I don't like guessing.
You cannot guess who did it. No.
I'm guessing
You
Learn
can't
did.
guess.
I'm guessing Learn did.
Doug told you
That's a
couldn't guess.
cock.
It needs to be right behind you, not behind me. The whole purpose was to get it right behind you.
Well,
And I'm
maybe-
sure they thought here it would get picked up on your camera. And
When
it's
Learn
not.
was in here, I sat where you're sitting.
That's why they put it here.
So
because
she
they,
probably thought that's where I sit
Sure.
normally.
Okay, so it was propped up on Doug's chair when I got here this morning, and I hung it up, and I tried getting it behind Iggy, but as Plowsy said, there's not a real good way to do it with his camera shot, so I put it right behind where Doug is.
That's fine. But it was in Doug's chair, and that's the chair I was sitting in when Learn was in here.
Right.
And it just fell.
And it just
fell.
Right on
And if
cue.
you were watching on YouTube, you saw it. Doug, what a moment here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After.
Well, let's get it going
Even
again.
the
Let's get
cardboard
it right
cutout
behind
went to
Iggy.
run away.
Let's get it right behind Iggy.
That is spooky.
I'm gonna
I
unplug
mean, maybe
this.
Learn's at home, just kind of magically just get away. Pew! And down it goes.
Wow.
You won't tell anyone I'm gay, will you? And QX4Boy19 replies, if you don't tell anybody, you blanked my blank.
Is that better? Can you see it behind him now?
You just see her, and you just see from the
Well, which direction does it need to go?
Has anybody seen my nurse?
mid-torso. I didn't know
anybody
what to
seen my
say.
nurse?
But no, you can't see the head, just the torso.
But I will say, when Learn was in here, remember she said she brought that picture of her as Lady Gaga.
Yes, that's
that she
behind
signed
Down a
to
little
me.
more,
your
Doug.
left shoulder.
Yeah, but she did say, I was going to bring in a
Down just a
cardboard
little.
cutout of me, but it's in my office. So
But that-
she did mention she had that. Well, whoever
Doug is
brought it
really
is
doing
nice
nice
of you.
work here. It's fun to watch Doug use his hands.
I feel like I was the project manager there. I didn't
Yeah,
do
and you did
anything,
a nice
but
job.
I wanted to make sure that it was angled.
Is that
right.
better?
Gold star.
Yeah.
No, that's
Okay.
really good.
All
Yeah,
right.
you can see it now over Iggy's shoulder.
Okay.
I mean, it's nice in our studio. It would have been nice if we just put it in the window facing the parking lot. So when people look up in the window, they see Learn.
Well, you don't want to cause any accidents.
No.
Anyway, whoever brought it in, thank you. It's a nice addition to.
And your theory is Learned it.
Yeah, I don't know who else would put it in here. After 5:30, there's nobody in here after 5:30 except for Jocks.
Randy Character?
Well, I wouldn't think he's still in here.
Oh, Randy came back, yeah.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, when Lauren was on the show, she said she would bring in the cutout of herself.
Okay, so this is a pretty complex mystery.
Oh, yeah.
So we knew about it before we...
That's right.
And we're still trying to figure it out. Can't get anything past us.
No, and thanks to Tim because
We ought to be detectives.
Thank you.
I tweeted.
You're very welcome.
Well, I tweeted out and I said, "Is this okay?" And he said, "Well, you spelled addition wrong. That's not the right."
Yeah, and I wish I had that one back, honestly.
I know.
I can't
believe I corrected it without it going out.
Well, thank you, because then I would have gotten likes and I had to delete it because I don't look like an idiot.
Did you spell it like limited edition?
No, he spelled it like the band New Edition.
Yeah, I really... Right when Tim said it, I was like, man, that's a bummer.
Yeah. I wanted it back right away. I knew right when I hit that ball that it wasn't going where I really wanted it to go.
I think that was a spell check. It just did it automatically.
Well, when you
It automatically corrects it to a proper noun. Well, I'll tell you, that Steve Jobs left no stone
Oh, no,
unturned.
he has an Android, so that makes sense.
Ah, you're right. You're welcome to text into the show. It's called the Engineer Design Facilities Text Inbox. 314-881-8625. Save it in your phone. And Jackson's only blocked one person in the 2 months we've been here. Today, or was yesterday, our 2-month anniversary? Hell, I don't know.
No, I don't either.
But either way, 314-881-8625. Watch in the YouTube chat where Friends of the Feather gathered. 175 are already watching, and we're moments into the show. And you can participate, and as we found out, it's like a singles bar in there. I mean, I saw the first comment, at least when I went in there, was a gentleman saying, "Good morning, ladies."
It's like it's
First,
eHarmony now.
I'm a
sex addict.
So if you're looking to score, headed to the TMA STL YouTube chat.
We're running a Tinder app.
You can call in to our Steve Schmidt Kia of North County phone lines. The number 636-9004-TMA. I mean, with all of these women now listening, I would think that today we should take 5-6 calls from females. So we'll put you at the front of the line.
We haven't hit 5 or 6 yet this calendar year.
636-9004 TMA. And, of course, email in for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. And let me tell you something, Doug.
What?
This is like a master's leaderboard when you're talking about who has won the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day so far in the month of March. Brian Henshin, Timmy Tom, and Misty Plops.
Oh.
Wow, wow, wow.
Damn.
What a leaderboard. And we're coming off a month.
I thought Cletus won.
Where Cletus won in February.
Okay, boy, you don't know what to do. The big names, they just keep coming.
Yeah, no, it's fun to see people. It's fun to see people respond to a challenge, knowing that there might be a prize.
They come for the hookups and they stay for the emails. Nice. I think it's exactly what's happening.
I think the fact that the prize is a mystery.
Yep.
Yeah, and the fact that there might not be a prize even.
Yes, I talked to Matthew Chapman yesterday.
Matthew Chapman.
Fine gentleman in charge of promotions here.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he said, we will find something and I'll let you know ASAP. So we will have something for this month. And as soon as we know what we have to give away, we'll let you know. And you'll have another 3 weeks to play for what we're going to tell you.
Now, isn't it Matthew Chambers?
What did I say?
Chapman.
Oh, yeah, Chambers. Because
Calling the nation all day.
Said Chambers, you my boy.
Right.
I'm sorry. It's early, man.
Right.
Well,
I told you, it's got me flustered. This learn behind has got me flustered.
Yeah, he's nervous.
You don't like her back there looking
No,
over
I
your
love
shoulder?
it back there. Just leave it there. So, yeah, we'll have something to give away each month for our email today.
Tim, can we add a cardboard cutout of you following through on your golf swing? Thanks. That's from the 314. Doug, would you like that behind you?
No, thank you.
It's a good idea.
I think a hologram, where you move the angle and you can see yourself, kind of how those old school cards were, where
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
moves when the card moves.
Okay.
I want cutouts all over the new studio.
Of you.
Yes.
No one else. Just you. Maybe
I
a
guess
occasional
maybe there
shot
can
of your
be
dad.
one of you. It's
I'm for
fine.
that.
Stupid.
I want me and Cletus.
Well, the one where he's massaging your hindquarters?
Or kissing, yes.
Oh, yeah, that happened too.
And there's one of Cletus behind Jackson.
Yep.
Pumping him while he gives him a putting
Did you hear
lesson.
the word pumping there?
I did. I heard it. It wasn't appropriate.
I don't want to get pumped.
Yeah, pumping is a weird
Well, too late for that. He was
Sister Catherine Patricia, active in this EDF text inbox. For God's sake, stop with the lip smacking. Control your old man jowls, you boot. That's from Sister Catherine Patricia.
You know, I won't get upset with that because he's correct.
I am tired.
And I don't know why. I've done it forever. I go back and if I've listened to old tapes or anything, a lot of times before I start a sentence, you hear, I will kind of smack my lips before I talk.
Yeah, try not to do
Yeah, I don't know if it's something I can control. It's just I do it every time I talk.
What I've noticed when I've listened to clips of this show is that you got a great microphone. I don't know if it's because you're talking so close to the mic, but there's a lot of bass in that microphone,
Bass in
and
your
it
face.
seems to pick up a lot in your microphone, more so than the other
Well,
mics.
I have like 8 socks on it and a hat.
I know.
I know. I don't know how it's.
And a big ball.
But your microphone still seems to sound better than the other mic.
I think that's why, because it's got all of this stuff on it. And I wasn't the one breathing through my nose and all of that either. It wasn't me.
That was caused by your nose hairs.
No, we've proven that. Somebody put up a video on the fan page that proved it wasn't me.
It was Jackson.
Now, I don't know if that one little video was proof of anything. I don't even hear it, so I don't even know if that even exists.
Yeah, we never heard it, but
They may just be making it up.
Yeah.
But
I
a
do have
lot
a
of
lot of-
people have said it.
I do have a lot of paraphernalia on this microphone, so it has a better sound to it. Unfortunately, I'm talking into it.
I don't know that putting a stocking cap over a mic makes the mic sound better. I think maybe it's just the mic.
I don't know, but the lip smacking, you are correct. I don't know why I do that. I try to.
Is it going to continue?
Well, I've been doing it for 30 years, so I don't know how I stop it. I do it without thinking.
Okay. Well,
I've actually edited out sometimes. Well, I'll do an interview and I'll edit the interview, and you'll see if you know anything about Cool Edit, you'll see a big line before, and I say, oh, there's just smacking their lips.
Oh, is that right? So you can
I'll do
actually
it.
see your lips
I can see when I do it before I talk.
it registers on the sound meter.
Yeah, so I just go in and I kind of.
Let's hear a good one right now to hear what we're talking about. There it was.
Wow.
There, right there.
That Sister Catherine Patricia knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, so I'm not
Great
mad at
hearing,
you.
and she's 148. Is that right?
Yeah. She was mentioned on, for some reason, I brought up her name on the Kathleen Madigan yesterday.
Oh, she went to Magdalena Brentwood.
Excuse me. All right.
I don't
Oh, let's smack it.
do that. She was talking about.
There was right there.
I can't say.
Wow, so it really goes
It
on.
does, yes. I know, and I know it goes on. She was talking about comparing something to your Catholic grade school nun would sign your report card and put something, she'll never achieve this or something. And I said, oh, like Sister Catherine Patricia. And she laughed for some reason. I don't know why, but
Probably listens to the show.
Yeah.
it was a fun interview, though.
Do we have any clips?
I forgot to get a clip of the Twitter one.
Oh, for heaven's sake. What we needed out of you was a clip.
You know, she is a lot
Perfect
funny-
time to promote it.
She is a lot funnier than I thought she was going to be. She
Was she?
was really good.
Well, that's because I interviewed her.
Oh, it has to be you. It had to be you. Not her. Nationwide, well-known comedian. Wasn't her being funny. It was you.
Yeah, she is funny, but if you don't interview her properly, you don't get the funny stuff out of her.
Yep, Doug. That's on you.
And Iggy did give plenty of, and there were some real laughs, but sympathy laughs, and those really get you a lot of extra length on those answers.
Iggy was doing sympathy laughs?
Well, you kind of, I mean, he was laughing and kind of playing back and forth, which, you know, when you're talking to a comedian, they kind of feed off of those, you know,
Well,
laughs.
sure.
So
Yeah.
I thought that was a great strategy on Iggy's part.
No, it wasn't a strategy. She truly was funny in
Yeah,
this
she was
interview,
really
and she had me cracking up. When she was talking about Twitter and talking about if we had Twitter back in the old days, can you imagine? It'd be pretty simple. British are coming, British are coming. That's it. 4 words, and everybody knows. You don't have to go any further.
That would have saved a lot of problems.
It
Would have been
saved
tough
a
on
lot
the
of-
British.
Yeah, easier on the horse.
Yeah. Pearl Harbor,
Beer would've
duck.
been a
There you go.
sequel
That's all
on
you need.
Twitter,
Get out.
anyway.
So it was pretty. She was funny. But Saturday night is pretty much sold. That's what I loved about her is that it's almost sold out.
She doesn't need to promote.
She didn't need to promote it. And I even, before we went on, I said, you really didn't need to do this. She goes, yeah, for St. Louis, though, I mean, this is my hometown, and I'll do it. She goes, but, yeah, other cities, if I'm sold out, I really don't do it.
And where's she appearing?
Stiefel Theater.
Oh.
I think there's single tickets available, but it's pretty much, and that's like a, what, 3,000?
It's a lot of tickets,
3,500?
It's what they call a big house.
Nice, I like
Nice
that. It is what
place.
it's called.
I like the Stiefel.
I saw Sebastian Maniscalco there.
You're a fan of his, aren't you?
Oh, I think he's hysterical.
Is he still big? I mean, because
Yes, he is still big.
at that time when you saw him, he was at like his peak.
I think so. Yeah.
He was in The Irishman.
He was.
Yeah.
Was he really?
Mm-hmm. He played
He was.
Crazy Joe.
Doug, he played Crazy Joe.
Have you guys seen him?
I've seen
am
some
I
of
the
it.
only one who thinks he's funny?
No, I've never heard of him. I like him.
He has a great Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
Oh, that's my favorite show. Steve Harvey.
Oh, is that right?
Steve Harvey has the best one. Steve Harvey is hilarious.
Jackson's going to disagree with you.
Well, Larry David is like the one that I will watch when I'm in a bad mood, and Jamie Foxx's is really good.
There's this old guy.
All of them are really
the
good.
The older comedian, I don't know his name, but he hit his head on a birdhouse when he was walking with Seinfeld at his house. I don't know if you remember that, but this dude was gold, man. Like, he was the funniest dude. He was like 70.
Was it Don Rickles right before he died? He got Don
Not
Rickles
Don
in it.
Rickles, but I saw that one. But it's just great. It's just great comedy. Those little sketches and bits.
Sketches.
So Kathleen is up on
YouTube.com/TMASTL.
Yes.
There you go.
And if
Doug,
you-
everything's there.
It seems like it.
Everything is there. It's our Munganess 7 o'clock hour here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Work with the great Jamie Burkhardt. Work with the great Clayton Patterson. I'm going to read an email I got from a listener. And I had already popped, I think, 7 pills last night to go to bed.
You did?
Yeah. And
Seriously?
usually I'm about at 20 pills. So I was kind of halfway through my routine.
Wow.
But I read this last night. Hold on. Here we go. And in van. 2, 1. Hey, Tim. A few weeks ago, you helped introduce me to the Munganess Boys as I was in the market for a new Toyota Camry. Jamie got me in touch with Clayton and let him know that I'd follow up with him further once I was ready to, quote, get serious about buying. I researched the Camry a bit more, and it wasn't really exciting me very much. So I decided to step up to a higher-end car since I keep them for so long. So I ended up calling Clayton last week and just closed the deal on a sweet-ass red Acura TLX from St. Louis Acura.
Oh, he'll love that.
How do you do?
I drove that for a month or two. Man, those are nice.
Those Acuras are so clean.
I got a lot of stairs. I don't think it was just because of me either.
I think I had the
Great car.
RDX for an afternoon while they were getting my van taken care of, and it was just sleek as can be. It's like a spaceship.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
of those are just so.
I know.
Chuck, who is the emailer here, says, I was able to negotiate a bit with him on the price, and I do feel that I got a very fair deal considering the way the car market is currently. Clayton and my salesman, Rob, were very laid back and good to work with. It was funny how many times they mentioned the fact that I was a listener to a show, and they gave me a deal because of it.
Oh.
How about that, Doug?
That's
How about
nice.
that?
That's great.
You tell people you're a TMA listener, and it gets you things,
Yeah.
usually stares and kicked out.
I talked to Peter Munganess yesterday. He was here to change the plates on the Toyota Highlander that they've got me driving. He said they've had a lot of people say that they listen to the show, and that's why they're there.
Doug, the word's out.
They're great people.
If it wasn't for the show, I wouldn't have even considered buying a car like I did. However, being introduced to Clayton and the Acura brand is going to make the next 10 years of owning and driving this car a very enjoyable experience. I also have to say that it feels good to finally give back to the show a bit. I've reflected in the past that I've never gone out of my way to support the sponsors, even though I've been a consumer of countless hours of free TMA programming since all the way back to 2006 when I started listening. I've never even donated to any of the worthwhile causes you've supported, such as raising money for Larry Nichols' cancer, Jake Rivas' baby, or the recent death of a former longtime listener, Joe Basler. I just want you to know that TMA has had a positive impact on my mood over all these years, and I value the entertainment that you all provide. Thanks again for making the introduction to the Munganess Boys, and keep up the great work. The show has never, in caps, never been better. Cheers. That's from Chuck, who just got himself a new Acura TLX, and he describes it, Doug, as sweet ass.
Well, he's in a good mood because he got that car.
That's right. That's
you
right.
drive a brand new car or a newer car like that, and you've been driving a lousy car. It changes your whole mood every time you get in it.
Because you know the ladies are going to want to pull over to the side.
That's got a lot to do with it. Yeah.
My Corolla that I'm in, the 2022 Corolla Hybrid, I washed it yesterday, and I always wash it because it's their car, they're letting me use it, and I take care of it. And plus, when it gets rainy and muddy, so I washed it, but I also had to put gas in it for the third time. Filled it up. It was almost on empty. Filled it up for $30. And it has a little thing you can push. It tells you how far you can go. I can go 498 miles before I have to put gas in the car.
498 miles?
498 miles I can go before putting gas. And I filled it up for $30.
498 miles. That's like halfway to Denver if you were to go west.
Yeah. Great gas mileage. It's fun to drive.
I see there's a Russian in the chat.
A Russian fellow?
Jackson, you see that?
Russian.
I'll get him out.
Yeah, I'll take care of him.
Look at that.
Is he there to justify the bombing of nuclear power plants?
You're not allowed in our chat.
He's gone.
Go there.
He's gone. Pastry chef named Mesfin, not happy. I think that's kind of one of his. I think that's on brand for the pastry chef. Was Mesfin not a happy guy, Iggy? Is he?
I always got along with him. He would always.
But now on the YouTube chat seems to not be as happy as maybe he was when you guys were working together. And where were we working together? Bermuda.
Bermuda. I mean, he would get mad when they make him stay late to do special cakes for people. He would get upset, but
special cakes.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a birthday for some visitor, and I'm not doing that.
I'm glad they are supporting the sponsors, but why do these guys need to be introduced? Doug, you love the Shane Company commercial. Now you have a friend.
Now you have a friend in the diamond business.
So let me explain this to the pastry chef named Mesfin.
Okay.
Oftentimes, consumers, and there's a Venn diagram overlap. Pull up the Venn diagram over the plow hooks. There it is.
Oh. Yeah, there's a spreadsheet.
Thank you.
Okay.
There's an overlap with consumers and listeners, okay? Consumers, listeners of the show. The show exists for 18 years because listeners become clients of the sponsors. Sponsors get return on investment, and then they spend money with the show to keep the show going, okay?
Yeah.
So if you have a direct contact at thehomeloanexpert.com, and you go, oh, I reached out to Ryan Kelly, or I need my HVAC taken care of, I know Seth Goldcamp, or I'm going to go buy a car, but I have a feeling I might get banged around, so I don't know what to do, so I would feel better if I knew somebody there. Hey, Tim, can you introduce me to Jamie? And then it will allow me to feel comfortable buying or leasing or getting my car serviced. That increases the comfort level of the listener, who then increases the probability of becoming a client, which then increases the probability of the return on investment for the advertiser. Mesfin, that is how the process works. If you have any other questions, T. McKernan at tmastl.com. In the meantime, you can get yourself a taste. 314-881-8625 is how you can text into the presentation. Where did the liar fill his tank for $30?
At Mobile. All I know is I said because I had to get cigarettes too. So whenever I get cigarettes at Mobile, I pay with a check. They take my checks. So I need a gas
People
too.
behind you love that, by the way.
There's nobody in there.
$30. That's only like 10 gallons. That's a small tank.
It is a small tank. All I know is I said it was on empty because it said I can go 8 miles before I'm out of gas.
Well, sure. Fill up.
So I said a carton of Salem Gold 100s, and I said I need $30 unleaded.
You bought a whole carton.
I always buy a carton.
What's a carton cost these days?
I'd rather not say.
Come on, tell it. $50.
It's $70.
Oh, Doug, do something!
God.
Yeah, it's terrible.
$70.
Yeah. And then I said I also need 30 unleaded, and 30 took it to full, and I was on empty. So small tank, but then it said I can go like 498 miles before I have to.
Is that a hybrid?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, in that car, you're probably getting 40 miles a gallon.
Oh, yeah.
Or more.
So, yeah, I was surprised $30 filled it up, especially the price of gas right now. But it the needle went all the way to full.
$30, Doug.
Trick or treat, bitches.
That's not bad.
That's my favorite.
Most people spend twice that to fill up now.
Oh, we have bigger cars.
Yeah.
Oh, our van. Boy, our van.
Clip that off.
Not good gas mileage with your van?
Oh my God! If you're writing checks at a gas station in 2020 doesn't make you a geriatric, I don't know what does. That's from Hedonism Chuck.
I'm old, but they take checks. Schnucks takes my checks too. So
we were all trying to settle up our debts here before the show.
Oh, this is funny.
I wouldn't say debts.
Well, I owe you money. I owe Doug money. Plowhawk owes me money. Jackson, are you owed money or do you owe anybody money?
No, I think I'm even Steven.
You're clean at the bank?
Yeah, even Steven.
So Doug was owed money for a Sound Story from the LLC that owns Sound Story. But I don't care. I don't really write checks. You guys write checks? I know, obviously, we've just covered Iggy writes checks.
Never written a check in my life.
You've never written a check in your life?
Nope.
Never?
Are you kidding me? That's
Why would I need? I have Venmo. Why would I ever need
Venmo
to
for
write a check?
rolls, hose.
What about bills?
I write a check to
Online?
my landlord because he lives underneath. Like
He lives right underneath you.
Well, 2 floors underneath. So yeah.
Okay.
So it's easier than
Yeah.
just give him an electronic payment because it.
So I was able to pay Doug because I happen to have this little floppy checkbook for the LLC that owns Sound Story.
Checks.
It did look like Fisher-Price checks. And then I said to Iggy, I couldn't find the check that from the LLC where he would receive his money, but I want to get him his money. Pal, if anything, you've been owed it for more than a month, and you've been very polite. You haven't even said anything, but you got to tell me because I'm not trying to stiff you. I know I'm going to pay you, and you know I'm going to pay you, but I feel badly about it. I really do. I mean, I owe you money. I got to get you the money. So I said, yeah, I know you don't have Venmo. We've covered that. And then Zelle, and I don't know if that's a Bank of America only thing. Have you heard of it, Doug?
I know. I had not heard of that before. I
Have you never
think
heard
it
of
is.
Is it?
I think, but maybe they've expanded. Zelle's great.
And then even if the Plowhawk paid me the money he owes me, that's to me as an individual,
And we
not an
both have
LLC.
Venmo.
And we both have Venmo, so then I couldn't get it to Iggy. Or I couldn't even say, does Venmo the money owe me to Iggy? So, Doug, what we are at this point is it's some semblance of gridlock. I want to get Iggy his money, but I don't know how to because he only accepts checks.
Yeah. You got to get cash, I guess, right? Is that the only way? Or do you want
I
to?
guess
Have it on
so.
the books,
I bet there's that Commerce Bank right over there. Maybe in a commercial break, I'll go out and withdraw the money that I. But I want you're owed money.
I
That's
know.
it. It doesn't matter. I don't like owing.
I only
people
thought
money.
about it today because we have Strode Family Game Night tonight, and my beautiful great niece Emma, I bought $100 worth of Girl Scout cookies off her, so I need to pay her tonight.
That'll go well with the $70.
But I can go to the
cigarette
bank
card.
myself, or I can write my niece a check. She takes checks.
But you're owed money from a gentleman sitting right next to you, and on top of it, it's like more than 30 days.
But I trust you, so
But
when you
it's the
get to it,
principle of it. It's the principle of it.
that's the only reason I texted you this morning, because you have so much going on. It's just it probably slipped your mind, and that's fine.
And it did, but it still doesn't change the fact that at this point you're owed, and I got to take care of it. So I'll wonder if I can go do that, and I'll do it in a break.
Bring it Monday. Don't worry about it. I don't need you to
got,
go out
you
there.
got
to
Strode
break.
Family Game Night.
Well, I have money. I'll just have to write a check to my niece. That's all right.
ridiculous.
She's a young child. She doesn't know what to do with a check.
My niece Emma's taking care of her daughter's stuff, so.
The Loomster texting in and says Zelle works with a lot of banks. It's on Chase too. Well, there you go. Yeah, I would wonder. It couldn't possibly be just Bank of America.
I think it started as that, but maybe.
I think you're right about that, Jackson.
I think
It could be commerce too.
What's the difference between all these like Venmos and cash? And,
Cash apps,
Yeah.
and I think it's all pretty much the same.
It's
cool
all
thing.
about perks too. Maybe
Yeah,
same
we'll
day
be-
deposit with no fees on some.
100p,
yeah.
And you can get a Venmo card. So if you're getting Venmo'd a lot, and you have a high balance, you can have an actual debit card that you can swipe at any. I think it's through MasterCard. It's pretty cool.
But anything over 600, they flag. Am I correct?
What? Venmo?
Yeah.
No, up to $2,000, baby.
$2,999.99.
No, I meant they
Tam
look
Avenue
into-
Capital Partners, very well versed.
No, with that new law, don't they look into any transaction, whether it be bank or money-to-money system, anywhere over 600? I think they look into it.
Who's got the time to do that?
Like, would they, interview you?
No,
No,
they
the
just-
government's looking at it now.
it waits.
Nurse!
It waits to transfer into your account until they review it. I think it is.
Yeah, that's just nuts.
So anything
600
over
is like
600 in terms of a Venmo, it takes a couple of days sometimes because they are quote unquote looking at the transaction.
Yeah, they must report it. You have to report it.
Yeah.
Person accrues more than 600 annually in commercial payments on an app like Venmo. Venmo must file it
Yeah, so they file it away and
furnish a 1099-K.
Some of us olds are afraid of this banking system. Afraid if we go online and do everything and we hit one wrong button somewhere, that's going to cost us $10,000.
Yeah, I understand that. I think in being very sincere about this, I think it's disrespectful. That doesn't gain me any equity with the audience. The right word is it hurts everybody when younger people crap on older people for either being distrustful or not willing to necessarily learn new technology, because now you're essentially cutting off a big portion of the population, and oftentimes the portion of the population with the most disposable income at that point in their lives, by going, oh, how sad is this that you're too old to figure it out. It's because you know what, we're all going to be there one day.
Oh, yeah. When my kids give me a hard time about something on the computer, I have to remind them. I'd say, hey, I had to teach you how to use a spoon.
I wiped your ass, bitch.
Right. And now you're upset because I can't do some digital transfer on of a banking number. It's not that easy.
Right.
And I'm also leery that when everything's digital, they can take your money. They can just stop. I mean, look, in a good way, what everyone's doing to Russia right now, they're just stopping all their money.
So I get it. I would be more concerned about that with crypto, which is how I have to utilize if I'm winning bets or playing poker. That's the way that the money is handled at this point. I wouldn't at this point, because all I've done over the last, I don't even know how long, decade, is essentially e-transactions. But I recognize there's a comfort level for people with that. I think if you go back 10, 15, 20 years, even people who, I suppose, at my time were in our 20s or teens, we might have been suspicious of sharing our credit card information online. And now I think most people don't even think anything of it. If they did, Amazon wouldn't have the value that it does. So I think as opposed to going, the olds, going, hey, here's how you do it. It's actually pretty easy. And once you see it, you go, oh, like when I first started my podcast, my dad's like, Timmy, I don't listen to that crap. I don't know. And then I showed him how it worked, and he goes, oh my God, it's incredibly easy. But it took 5 seconds. So as opposed to like mocking him for not knowing how a podcast worked, you just show him. Because in the end, you're only kind of hurting the ecosystem that we're all participating in if you're crapping on a fairly substantial portion of the population that hasn't learned new technology. So there's my message for that day. I believe is that a TED Talk? Was that a TED Talk?
Maybe it was.
Okay, fine. Billy Horschel is leading at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, Doug. And
when you've done something one
excited
way,
about it because I have him and Rory McIlroy on the roster.
Tommy Fleetwood just doubled.
When you've done something the same way your whole life, 50, 60 years or more, you've done something the same way and it works just fine.
Right.
You're happy with it. And then someone comes along and says, no, you can't do it that way. You got to do it our way. It's not only frustrating, it's sometimes hard to learn the new way. Mm-hmm. I struggle with not putting a key in the ignition of a car. I mean, that should be easy, but I can't. I never realize what I'm doing with the keys.
Isn't it amazing?
Just keep it in your pocket. Well, I've had the same muscle memory since about 1971, where I reach into my pocket, I pull out the key, I put it in the ignition, I start the car. Then when I'm done, I take the key out and put it in my pocket. That's what I've got the muscle memory for. And now when it's changed, I'll get through it. It's just different.
I'm doing that now with the Munganess car.
You always look for what do I do with the key? Where's the key?
No, when I stop, I'm looking to park with the thing on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on. I have this car for a few months. I should know it's down here, but I stop and, it's not there.
I was used to having to get out and crank the engine to get it going. Or feed the horse before you take a long trip.
I'm not that old.
You've changed it all.
Oh, Doug, speaking of technology, we got a message. Good morning.
It's from a girl?
From the McKendree University girls beach volleyball coach.
Oh, it's the coach. Okay. That could be a dude.
I know the bowling coach.
It's a guy named Bob.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it really?
Soft cow going back. Well, bad beat for us all. We are in our Munganess 7 o'clock hour. You just heard the email from a listener who just did business with Clayton Patterson and Jamie Burkhardt there, stlouisacura.com, AltonToyota.com. Once you get a car from Munganess, get it insured with James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. I can speak to James in his office in Webster Groves because I am a client. And one of the things I like, talking about technology again, even though this isn't necessarily cutting edge, so I have one place that I work with that it's strictly phone calls. And I get it. It's just, it seems to me so antiquated because I like just texting or emailing an update. But I get it. It's the way that it is. But with James and his staff, if a payment is due, if they see an opportunity for me to save money, they text it, and that is so convenient because I think that is how most people, not everybody, communicate in 2022. And on top of it, if you do need to call them, when you call, you are talking to somebody in the office in Webster Groves anytime during business hours, and James makes sure to continue to grow his staff to make sure that you get that level of customer service. You're talking about home insurance, auto insurance, and life insurance. You're talking about the most important and oftentimes the most expensive things that you have, so make sure you're working with the best. James Carlton, 314-961-4800, or go online at carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm. Coming up on our Captain's Log, the drops of the week, presented by the Post Sports Bar and Grill, and the Bertarelli Cutlery Cuts of the week, along with our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Brian Henson, Timmy Tom Tom, and Misty Plops, all with wins so far in the month of March. Compete with the greats. I mean, this is essentially becoming Augusta National here.
Well,
this March Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. Doug, it's all made possible by our title sponsor, and I've got his name is Ryan Kelly, and I've got him online at thehomeloanexpert.com. Jack.
Well, hopefully you've got his name on your mortgage refinance, too.
I do.
I did twice. I refinanced twice through Ryan Kelly. I don't know why you wouldn't if it can save you a lot of money. And a lot of people, if you've got an old mortgage, you can refinance and save yourself a boatload of money. Now, rates are starting to go back up, so you need to get in there if you haven't already. Don't wait any longer. Get this done now so that you are locked in when rates continue to go up. If they do, they may not. They make nobody knows for sure, but they were at historic lows for a long time. A lot of people refinanced, and they are still refinancing a lot of loans because rates are still, in the big picture, still very convenient. Mortgage rates are sitting near all-time lows. Home values are skyrocketing. Never been a better time to look at a refinance. The team at the Home Loan Experts can lower your interest rates, maybe save you a few $100 a month. Who couldn't use that? And maybe you can pull some cash out to pay off those high-interest credit cards or make home improvement projects a reality. Apply online today at thehomeloanexpert.com. Even if you're not looking to refinance, or you're looking to buy a new home, of course, you can get online, get yourself pre-approved in 5 minutes at thehomeloanexpert.com. Ryan Kelly's got loans for everybody, teacher appreciation loans, union loans, where if you close, you get a $500 gift card for both the teacher and the union appreciation loans. They got the VA loan program. There's only way to VA is through Ryan Kelly. Just a fabulous outfit. Great people. Check them out at thehomeloanexpert.com.
Jackson, could you tell the people about Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies online at evergreenstl.com?
Best in the business.
There it is, Doug.
Absolute best in the business. Yeah. Mark's the best, man. Seriously, like the amount of people who have told me, like, oh, I worked with Mark Hanna the other day. He's amazing. You weren't lying. Of course, I'm not lying. I'm speaking from the heart. I've worked with Mark Hanna. He's got me set up so well. I don't have to worry about it. I'm set for the future. And, every 6 months to a year, me and Mark, we get on the phone and we just talk it over, make sure the goals are the same. And if I ever have any issues, I call Mark Hanna, and he always reassures me and helps me out because he's a wonderful human being. You really feel better for humanity once you get off a call with Mark Hanna. Seriously, he gives such sage life advice on top of giving really sound financial advice. So if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a guy, give Mark Hanna a call. He'll get you straightened out. And if you already have somebody, you might want to consider making the switch because Mark really is that good.
There it is, 314-889-0503, or go online at evergreenstl.com. Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. This is a program that solicits your involvement. Calling in the Steve Schmidt Kia of North County phone lines, 636-9004-TMA. Or you can email in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. And most friends of the Feather choose to text it. The Engineered Design Facilities text inbox 314-881. TMA5. Save that in your phone, and you're always communicating with the show. And, of course, download the Morning After STL app from your app store. And you can do all of that stuff just from the app. And plus, all of the podcasts are there, not just of TMA, but the Tim McKernan Show podcast, Balloon Party, YouTube links. You can text into the show via the app. It's all there for you. It couldn't be any more simple. Nathan from the east side of Alton has just texted in and says, financial advice, driving minivans, rolling blunts. What can't that malnourished twink board op do? Oh, that's right, his job. Less advice giving and more drop playing. That's Nathan Doug, and he's over on the east side of Alton.
I just gave that endorsement, not Plowsy.
So I don't think Jackson and the Plowhawk sound anything alike. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't know where he was mistaken on that one.
I mean, I smoke blunts and drive a minivan. That's me, but that's not Jackson.
Nothing wrong with that.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
I like a good minivan. I really do. Not supposed to. They're supposed to be for soccer moms. I love a minivan.
How about this knowledge? I'm a business banker. Majority of the fraud that comes in is due to checks. You are literally at times giving a stranger your routing and account number, and it's so easy to duplicate now. Credit card is by far the safest way to transact. That's Alex at the bank. Alex at the bank.
The bank.
Makes sense.
Yeah, catch me if you can. That's the whole premise of the film.
Yeah, I had to...
I'd be happy to set up your Venmo for you.
Could you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Takes about...
I'd need to know your routing number and your...
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Now someone else has got it.
And your account. I'll be happy to sign a document that says it will remain between us.
I trust you.
And then it'll be set up for any golf wagers.
You're all right, though. I mean, A perfect example is I got my AT&T internet bill because I have AT&T for and I have AT&T for my cell phone, and my AT&T internet is like $45 a month, and I get my bill this month. It's like $93. So I call. I said, "Is there a reason this $93?" I said, "Well, we never received your payment from last month." I said,
No.
Well, I looked at my checkbook. I said, "Well, right here. I mailed it on February 4th." She goes, "Well, we never received it." So somewhere out there, and I'm not paying $50 to cancel a check, but it's out there somewhere. Now, what if it got lost? Somebody opened it. Well, they now have my routing number. You know what I'm saying? So this guy's exactly right, actually.
Mm-hmm. Alex at the bank sounds like he hangs dong. Thanks, Eric in the Central West End. Doug, did you get that vibe?
I didn't at all. No.
He kind of
Not
did
at
just
all.
roll up in here and drop some knowledge on us.
The guy from Catch Me If You Can spoke at one of my son's graduations. Boring AF. That's from Steve in Wildwood.
Frank Abagnale Jr.
DiCaprio?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
I believe the character he played.
This is from the 314 who works at Venmo. Regarding over $600 payments, Venmo is not sending 1099s for any personal accounts, only business accounts. Doug, there's your information on that. If you're managing an LLC that handles DraftKings investments.
I know banks and financial institutions and your broker and all these places, they have to have a lot of safety with their money transactions that go through. Otherwise, they couldn't stay in business. You know, about the time that everybody at Wells Fargo has their money stolen, or Stifel, or, you know, you picked a brokerage house, about the time that they get hacked and people lose millions of dollars, that's going to be the end of their business. So they spend tons and tons of time and resources and energy making sure that those transactions are safe.
Now, Cameo didn't send me a 1099, but I still...
So that means you actually withdrew money?
I still declared it.
Even though you didn't withdraw money? So you've paid the taxes on something, but you don't have the actual funds?
Well, it's in there. Venmo has put it in there, so it's in my account, but I didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, God bless America.
Yeah, so I...
So you do have money in Venmo, you just haven't gotten into Venmo.
Cameo.
Cameo.
You did say Venmo,
you said
for the
Venmo.
record.
Did I?
Yep.
Oh, God. It's one of those days. But I didn't get a 1099 from him, but I still declared it. Because I'm a good little boy.
Rocky finally paid you your share.
Finally released the funds.
He finally released it.
It was a considerable amount of money, too, right? You did a lot of those.
I did one the other day. Somebody put it up on Facebook. Or on the fan page.
Oh, we're going back to the fan page.
No, it's theirs to do what they want.
Doug, let me tell you something. You could make a killing doing cameos.
You could, and so could you.
For the Rills, though. I think if you were to rank the revenue projection 2022 of the members of the dais, I think Iggy and Doug would be ahead of me. In a substantial gap, by the way. I'm kind of the business manager point man.
Oh.
You know? But as far as who the people want to hear from, for real, you're leaving money on the table, and I don't know if Iggy is or not because the funds have been garnished by Rockio down the hall.
Well, Doug, they just want to hear from you. The only reason I get them is because they know I'll be dirty.
Put that off.
They know I'll cuck them. And I'll do that stuff. You guys won't. You guys are more serious. But I think they'd like to hear from you guys to say, hey, Tim McKernan here, John, happy birthday to you. I hope you're, and Doug, hey, Doug Vaughn here. I hear it's your birthday or I hear it's your anniversary. Well, you guys are great. And they just want to hear from you. Me, they want to hear, you're a loser. You're so small.
Stop this cucking.
Pathetic. That's what they want.
Well, I would think more people would go for that. More people would go for the outrageous rather than just happy birthday. And if I were to get outrageous, then people are going to share it to Facebook and everywhere else, and I'm going to come off looking like a goofball.
That's
right?
true. Yeah, with you, because the last one I did was shared to Facebook, and they own it. They can do what they want with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you did one, they own it. They could put it anywhere if you did something funny or whatever.
Yeah, you say something stupid or that you might regret later.
I get that.
Guys, is Jackson playing multiple games of Minesweeper? All I can hear is aggressive clicking. Thanks. That's from Matthew Chambers getting a prize ASP.
Nice.
No Minesweeper. Nope.
At least you got the name right.
No Minesweeper, but I'm certainly diligently working back here.
What are you doing back there?
Stuff.
Wow, so vague, but yet so
Secretive
erotic.
stuff.
Stop cashing out all your accounts and asking people for money so you can go to Strode Family Game Night. It's from Harrison's Brother Master. When has Iggy asked for money?
What does that mean?
You said you wanted the money because you had Strode family game night.
But he's owed money, so he should have the money. And as soon as we take a commercial break, I'm wandering over. I'm going to need to have security with me because listeners are going to be gathered for me to sign.
Just
I'm not
don't
signing
sign,
during commercial breaks.
And no pictures, for sure.
Tim can hop in the town car. Obviously, we drive over to
That's
Conway.
correct. We have the car service.
Yeah.
It was in my deal. I need a car service for the 10-minute drive. Yep. What's the problem, Iggy?
Just make a putt, Fleetwood, you idiots.
Okay.
Oh, no.
That doesn't matter. We both have him, right?
I went heavy on him
we
too. I got a lineup in the top 100 right now for $250K.
Oh, really?
McIlroy and Horschel are both tied for the lead.
Yeah.
Paulie Casey.
He's 1 under for the day.
Cameron Young, who's 2 under for the tournament.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, Adam Long, who's 3 under for the tournament and only owned by 0.5% of the field. And my borderline player, and I had the same theory as I'm sure many did, Corey Connors, that he can't continue this slide, and he was only 7,600. And I think a lot of people were on Fleetwood because he was only 7,900. And now we might get burned on our bargain shopping. Cheap chalk is cheap for a reason. Doug, listen to me. Cheap chalk is cheap for a reason.
Okay, that's what I hear. Yeah.
Oh, God, Corey Connors.
We both have Fitzpatrick. Doug, we don't both have Fleetwood.
Yeah, I see that.
He didn't have a good day either.
Yeah, he's 1 over on the cut line, but
All right.
Fleetwood an early birdie, and then I got 160 to the hole. I think I'll knock it in the water.
Are you serious?
He didn't have that thought process.
Yeah, it was in the fairway, 160 to the hole. He had like 148 right in the water.
I saw that guy, I don't know what year it was, a couple of years ago, from 280. From 280 on a par 5 with water to the right. This is the hole where he went in the water when he could have tied Sung J M. This is at the Honda. 280. Stick it to about 5 feet with a 3-wood. He brings it out over the water, back in, and then it just rolls. I'm going, look, he's got an eagle putt from 5 feet from 280. I mean, I don't even know. I don't know what the hell they do. I mean, I know it's because they hit balls a million times.
Yeah, it's all compression.
But some guys just have the ability to do that, and some guys get there with, like a Zach Johnson, without the ability to do that, but ridiculous wedge play.
Then he
God
gets in the
almighty, but Fleetwood's my size. He's a small guy.
Yeah. Well, JT's not that big either, and he just crushes the ball.
Yeah, but you see what he does. He fires off the ground. I just don't know. I don't know what's going on with Tommy Fleet. Billy Horschel is now at the top of the leaderboard by himself. Billy Horschel is now at the top of the leaderboard by himself.
What was his salary?
I have a lot. I think I have Sung J M and Billy Horschel the most on the rosters this week. Doug, this might be the week. Let me tell you something. If I win $250,000, I'm going to give you $25.
Ah, that'd be nice.
Write it down.
What is that, 0.01%?
That's right.
That's a good
Better
red
than
lobster
nothing.
meal.
Yeah.
What was his salary, Tim? Billy Ho?
Billy Ho. Doug, what was his salary?
I don't know.
82, 83?
No, it was higher than that.
What?
He was a guy last week. Doug, let's pull up the numbers on strokes gained at the Honda. Billy Horschel was striking the ball up there with Iggy's friend Sepp Straka. What caused him to not be up there with Sepp Straka? And now as you see the numbers, he just didn't have the flat blade working. Well, the flat blade is working today. And if you wanted to bet an under on a score today, not that this is cutting-edge technology, I think John Rahm was number 1 yesterday, strokes gained off the tee, if I'm not mistaken, but he was 114th putting. So he's hitting the ball as well as anybody, if not better than anybody. And my guess is he goes low, low, low. And I don't want him to because I don't have a whole lot of them. But if you're looking for a wager, I hate to do this because it's a zero upside play for me. I don't get anything out of it if it's right. And on top of it, I don't want him to do well. I'd rather have him miss the cut. John Rahm, Doug. You know why?
Because he's about the best player in the world.
Well, he is the number 1 player in the world.
Yeah.
But the putting is the variance. The putting. Let me hear that. Here, cheap chalk is cheap for a reason. That's number 1.
Okay.
And the putting is the variance. Putting can be corrected. The ball striking, not so much. I don't know if we can find a number on that somewhere, but John Rahm's over-under for today, I would imagine it's probably, what do you think that number would be, Iggy?
Oh, hell.
68.5?
Yeah, par 72. I'd probably have it at 69.
Okay. Well, go low.
And a half.
But I don't want to bet it because I don't want him to do well. But just for the purpose of giving people knowledge. The 830 Recreator just sent one in. He says, taste me, Doug.
That's nice.
That's not that nice.
That's why we have the text lines open for those.
Just for that. Just
Now,
right out of the blue.
This is how you make cuts, Tim, or you miss cuts. Sitting at +3, cut's going to be +1.
Might be +2.
Tommy Fleetwood, par 16, which is an easy hole. I'm surprised it's only the 13th easiest hole in the course. 301 to the fairway, 198 to the hole. Let's see where this goes.
Doug, let's pull up Fleetwood's.
Okay, what are you watching?
Probably after the break. No, I got play-by-play on my. I
Oh, but you have to
I do that every
so no, this is teasing. Wait till Barrett hears this tease.
That's fascinating.
Every week I do the same thing. I put my 6 guys and your 6 guys on the. You can click who you want on your leaderboard on the PGA Tour, and then I see what our guys are doing.
I don't.
Anybody not wearing socks, as you know, no socks equals 2 sexy strokes. Thanks, that's from Arbor Day. Doug, another lesson, socks aren't sexy.
Who's playing without socks?
Socks are not sexy.
Oh, God, yeah, that'd be bad.
God, to walk that far in golf shoes?
You gotta have at least footsies on, don't you?
Oh, that would hurt.
Listen,
so
we're in golf
bad.
shoes today, and I got these little...
Yeah, you got little footsies on.
Doug, check out my calves, bro. Got a soft cow now?
Oh, yeah. Wasn't it Rich Gould that had sandals that had
I
golf
played
spikes
in a
on?
media event at Belle Reve with Rich. A variety of things occurred in that round. Some I can share, some I cannot, although I doubt he would really care if I shared them all. And one of which he was wearing the equivalent of, Doug, do you say Tevas or Tevas?
I don't say either one. I don't know what they are.
Tevas. But they had spikes on them, so he was essentially playing in sandals, but they had spikes at
Nice.
Belle Reve.
It seems like you ought to be able to put spikes on your favorite shoes, whatever shoes are most comfortable for you.
They do.
You can do that now?
Yeah, go look at the NFL. They all wear Jordans with spikes on the bottom.
Doug, check out my J's.
Well, golf spikes are going to be different than football spikes.
Yeah, they're moving more towards like the completely spikeless. Or at least the removable.
Yeah, I mean,
these
don't have spikes.
The last golf shoes I bought, they can't have ridges in them.
Ridges, yeah.
That's what I got.
They're going for that or removable
Anybody want to
spikes.
see my calves on YouTube? DM me and go private my OnlyFans.
You have OnlyFans
Sluts.
now for your
Yeah.
nudes?
Yeah. Only calves. I'm going to do...
Onlycavs.com.
Yeah.
You playing today?
I'm not playing. There's a bunch of holes shut down at my place.
Yeah.
But I just want to hit balls. That's my form of exercise at this point. God, it's bad. But I don't want to lift because then I'm going to hurt my shoulder again. So then I'm just going to go through life with this effing slap tear.
I just do push-ups.
I think that would mess it up.
Yeah,
I think
that
it
would be
would
bad.
hurt.
That's
I
a
think
bad
push-ups.
idea.
I mean, it's right here. So it's like don't have this major surgery where I'd be out for 8 months when it doesn't hurt me.
You've got 2 kids now. You'll have plenty of exercise.
Yeah.
Walking around, running around with the kids, playing with the kids. You'll get plenty of exercise.
Doug, if you want to operate on me, let's go play doctor after I go get this money for Iggy in the break.
Okay, you're still mulling over this shoulder surgery.
I am.
I got a stress ball for you, Tim.
Not getting any better now?
No, it doesn't hurt at all.
But the problem is it's weaker than you want it to be.
No, the problem is I can't lift upper body because of the shoulder. So that means, therefore, if I don't get it done, I will never lift upper body the rest of my life.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? I messed around last year. Anybody ever go to Orange Theory? I know some instructors at Orange Theory have slept with some of our listeners' wives. I know it happened
They
at Butch
have?
Patrick's Werewolf Down. Yep. Butch Patrick's Werewolf Down.
Orange Julius.
Yeah, and that's happened with some of the instructors at Orange Julius, I think, at the South County Mall. And in this case, it's a pretty light workout, relatively speaking. No disrespect to those who, are really into it. And you can make it as intense as you want. And I'm like, okay, I'll go super easy just to see how it feels. And then like next day, I'm like, oh my God, my effing shoulder. I can't even do this.
Huh.
I don't know. Some people will email me and go, get it done. And some people say, don't get it done. Don't get it done because it's not normal even after you get it done.
Well, if you're leading a normal life now and all you cannot do is lift heavy weights above your head, it seems like maybe it's...
No, even
wouldn't
if
be
I just
worth
wanted to do
doing
like light curls with like 15-pound
You can't do that
dumbbells,
even?
it would irritate it. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Bench press is done. I think I tore it bench pressing, which was just stupid. So stupid. This isn't like I did it when I was 25. I did it when I was in my 40s. Like, what am I
Yeah,
doing?
I hurt my shoulders that way too.
So stupid. Do you have a tear? Probably
I
do.
thought
Just
I
don't
did.
know.
I thought I did. I woke up one day and I couldn't lift either arm above. And I don't even remember getting hurt in the gym. I know I had gone to the gym the day before. I couldn't lift either
Holy
arm
moly.
very high. And I didn't know what it was. And I went to a couple different doctors and they said that's what it was. And they put me in physical therapy and gave me these exercises where I was doing the blues power play dance up against a wall and things like that.
Man. They give you those elastic bands.
Yeah, and it pretty much went away in time, so it wasn't too serious. But boy, it really hurt there for a while, and I don't even remember getting hurt.
I think the worst part about Tim's injury is you eliminate being a power top.
Yep, he's right.
Yeah, you're a submissive bottom now, my friend.
Yeah, but no, I'm more of a power bottom, and I've prided myself on that. I like to think it's the way I was raised.
The calves.
So your lower half can still kick like a mermaid?
Right, while I'm being topped.
Oh.
Not a bad thing.
Oh, it is a bad thing.
You kink shaming, bro?
This is what usually ends athletic careers, working out and or playing softball or pickup hockey later in your life is an injury. You get hurt and you just can't do it anymore, and you find it's not worth it.
Yeah, you don't. That's the thing. It's the things you discover. It's when I was seeing my physical therapist, and he goes, "What were you doing?" And I go, "I was lifting." And he goes, "Why?" And I go, "That's how I've always worked out." And he goes, "But I don't know when that happened. I'm 41." He goes, "You can't do that like that anymore." But you have to have something happen in order to realize it. And at the same time, I was running intervals on treadmills, and I'd go up to like 9.5 for 30 seconds, and then go back down to like 6, and then back up to 9.5. And he goes, "You can't do that. You're going to like rip up your knee or your hamstring or something." He goes,
I would think at 41 you could still be lifting weights.
You can, but I was lifting heavy weights, low reps. You can absolutely lift weights. It's the heavy weights. That's what did it. That's what I was doing.
And you were probably putting up, what, 700-800 pounds?
Give or take, 525.
Yeah. You were shooting for some records, some Olympic records, I mean.
Well, when you're gifted genetically with male pattern baldness and asymmetry, you feel you have an obligation to the human race to advance us, okay? To advance us by getting in the gym in Kirkwood at a now vacant strip mall.
Yeah. Do you feel like the fact that you have pincer hands, they were able to clamp onto the bar?
I feel like I had an advantage over people with normal-sized hands.
Yeah.
Me and Kenny Pickett.
But the problem with that is the balance, because you don't have it wrapping.
But just the
forward
tiniest
around.
of little, and just these little, and I'd grab them, and people would gather around. They go, "God," because they're not cheering for me to lift it. They're cheering for me to be able to get my hands around the circumference of the bar.
Just clip
these
it.
pincers,
Right.
These pincers are so tiny.
Right. But at least they never got sweaty or like a regular hand or anything.
Couldn't possibly, because the sweat glands can't form when you have pincers.
No. And so that was the root of the problem.
Correct.
So no fault of yours at all.
No.
Okay.
You find something that's been my fault.
I can't.
Thank you.
There's just nothing.
Good luck. Thank you, Iggy. I love you. What is going on with? This is Jackson.
What's up?
Are you discussing the Miami Heat and Milwaukee Bucks with somebody?
Oh, the bastard James Hahn and I are having a little NBA conversation.
Why would you do that?
So that's where the typing's from?
Show notes and, some like...
NBA
Doug, let me read this.
Jesus.
Jackson, who do you want to see in the NBA Finals? Got to be the Bulls and Dubs, right? Suns and Heat, Bam versus DA would be must-see TV. That's a good call. Booker and CP3 are unreal. Jackson responds, they got to stay healthy. CP3 has about 3 injuries during the finals last year. DeRozan's having an unreal year, too. Came out of nowhere. Must be the coach effect. New coach effect. And then
Jesus.
Good
Okay,
young
this has
coach.
gotta stop.
This is a conversation going on in our text.
This is the typing that we've been hearing. Boy, they got to stay healthy. Jackson, you knock it off with that in there.
The CP3 could barely dribble with his left hand.
We don't care. We got a baseball lockout to worry about. We got a hockey club to worry about.
I got Fleetwood trying to make an eagle. He's in the bunker.
No. Hey, we got
No, 242, I think, is you. Let me see if it's 242. Hold on. It's USA 242. It's right around there. 245? Let me try 245. It's right around there somewhere.
It's a channel. He's looking for a game.
Looking for TBS. It in tournament time. So
Unbelievable. Doug, I'm telling you, listen, we're no Mike Francesa, but I think both of us could look for television channels in Afternoon Drive and make $5 million.
His first 5 guesses were wrong, and I don't believe it was anywhere near 245 at the end of it.
That was old TNT on DirecTV. I remember that like it was yesterday. 247 for TBS.
There's no way he makes that.
What's going on now? Doug Worthington, Tommy Fleetwood.
You're going to just do your own show now today, Leather, where you watch each one of your players and wonder if he's going to make the putt.
I'm watching the one that's got.
We have a listening audience who's worried about other things, big picture stories.
Well, there's a lot of people who are probably wondering about Fleetwood.
No, there's nobody wondering about Fleetwood except you.
198 to the hole, hit in the bunker, 35
There isn't
feet to the hole.
anyone in town interested in what Tommy Fleetwood is doing on this hole right now, except you.
He's got a 7-footer for birdie. There's no way he makes it because he's on my team. My team every week is the worst inside 10 feet.
Is that right? Statistically, do we have that data?
Well, I just go by all the putts that my guys missed within 10 feet. I mean, last week I think I missed 10.
Okay, and,
putts,
that's of
wasn't-
interest to who exactly?
A lot of people.
Hey, we're gonna have. It's gonna be a short show today, folks. If we keep up with these calls.
Why, you going to leave? A lot of people pay attention to my team, and they pick
don't.
the same team I do.
No, they don't.
I only had 3 people DM me last week and said, thanks, Iggy, for the tip. I played your team, and they made money.
So a lot of people are out there taking notes on exactly what players you pick.
And
a lot
they're,
of them. Not,
they're
not
worried
one
about
guy.
Fleetwood. He's 3 over.
They're not worried about Fleetwood.
You can't birdie the easiest hole in the course. You're probably screwed the rest of the round.
Okay.
Hey, guys, since I've become a pickleball Casanova, I went back to the gym. Lady Gym Ass is insane now. Thanks. That's from the fake angry old guy. Lady Gym Ass.
You guys ever play pickleball?
No, but apparently it's all the rage.
It is. It is fun, and it's kind of easy, which is what makes it fun. You know, you don't have to play for a year and a half before you can serve. You don't have to be in good
Describe the
shape.
game to all of us novices.
Well, it's kind of like half a tennis court, and you play with a big plastic wiffle ball, really, and paddles. And it's
like big ping pong.
It's kind of like big ping pong with a
have
little
to
running
bounce,
around.
though.
It doesn't have to bounce. It can. It doesn't have to.
Yeah, so
it's
in
kind of like
ping
it's a real
pong-
small tennis, but
Yeah.
it's so much easier, and there's so much less running around
Yeah.
chasing balls.
Especially if you're doing doubles.
Yeah, it's just real fun. Especially it's started to be geared for older people who want to play racket sports without running all over the place.
Our coworker right next door, or 3 doors down, John Hewlett, is big into pickleball.
Yeah, I saw him on Tuesday, and he said, I'm off to play pickleball. God bless.
Yeah, I think him and my former boss, he used to work here, Bob Birch, won some kind of championship a couple weeks ago. Or
Oh, he did?
a couple years ago. We have
Really?
Birch and John Hewlett.
That's what we should do. Fan Page Club Championship Pickleball.
That'd be a good one.
wow.
It is nice to have a sport where the first day you show up, you can actually play.
Yeah, you don't need to
You
learn.
can do it. Yeah.
With our list, it'd be a better pickle eating contest.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, if angry old guy needs a girl for a mixed doubles match, give him my number. That's from Bill's wife.
Oh.
Any updates on Dotem?
Well, no, he's still suspended.
That
Suspended
reminds me,
indefinitely.
Stingray texted me yesterday, and I forgot to get back to him.
Does he want to do another podcast about Gary Pinkel?
I don't know what that's a nice observation. All he did was just write, hey, buddy.
Bet he wants you to promote his new show.
Yeah, I got a new thing on
Oh, is that what's going on? What's he doing? Forecasts?
Birmingham or
I don't know. You put it on the fan page.
He wants it to be syndicated.
I like that guy a lot.
I'm a big Stingray guy, too.
Oh, I love that dude, man.
Wonderful weather forecaster.
He is. He does wonderful Missouri Tiger football video skits.
Mm-hmm.
Give me that head.
Oh, yeah, I missed that.
All right, give me that head.
And who is the damn Gamecock?
Well, that was his cousin. Was his name Kenny?
Cousin
Eddie?
Eddie? Cousin Eddie?
No, it wasn't Pinkel. Like last year, he just tweeted out your interview with him about Barry Odom. And it was like 4 years after Barry Odom had left.
Do you know we have the best fans in baseball in St. Louis?
Oh, that's awesome.
I think that's how the rest of the country looks
Exactly.
at that, too.
Except here,
Aren't
for
you
a
special?
portion of the community, that is a badge of honor. My God. Hold up the mirror and go, wow.
Man,
We're known for having an arch and the best fans in baseball. Holy crap.
That's
We're
right.
Youngstown, Ohio.
We wear the hoodies with pride.
Where would we be without the arch?
Boy, nowhere. Would it be gateway to the what? There would be no gateway. Gateway Arch. There would be.
Yeah, we'd be Memphis,
that
I guess.
slogan wouldn't be in there anymore.
We could just erect a 600-foot statue of Tim.
Clip that off.
Okay, now you've gone too far, Jackson.
I don't think that's big enough.
Thank you, Plowhawk.
But the beautiful thing about the arch is
Use
it's
the
perfectly
Rams money.
symmetrical.
Damn it, Doug. Drop out of that if you can catch it.
I'm sorry.
Just went out. All right, I got to go get money out of an ATM for Iggy.
I apologize to Fleetwood. He made the putt. So.
Oh, good.
Oh, brother.
Is he inside the cut line now?
He's an 80th. Well, he's at even par for the day, 3 over.
Doug, what is the cut line?
I don't know.
I'm sorry,
we
2 over for the
going to have to listen about every putt he hits from here on? The rest of the show? Is that going to
Tommy, Fleet.
Doug, is this your first
He's got
show?
2 birdies and a double today. So
If only anyone cared but you.
I'm sure there's people that have
There's
Tommy
not
Fleet
a
on their
lot
team.
of
people that care.
Not really. That's what made him such a quote-unquote good pick. Except now it doesn't. We're, of course, in the results-oriented business. Doug, I know you were curious. The projected cut line, 48.7% is at +1, +2 at 26.6%. So I'll keep you updated on that. I got to go get money out of an ATM. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Watch TMA on YouTube. Click the bell to subscribe. Download the podcast. Find it at TMASTL.com or wherever you podcast. And check us out on TikTok at TMASTL.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. The Ryan Kelly Morning After exists because of the name on the show, and that's Ryan Kelly. You have been our title sponsor for a decade. You are the one we thank, and many people around town, the one that gets the blame for the show.
I do get the blame, too. I get all the glory and all the blame. I got to tell you, it's just humbling to hear what you just said. I remember I started with the text line sponsorship, and then after the first day, I go, I'll take the whole show. I love it so much. And refinance or buying a house, why'd you go anywhere else? Visit thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326240.
Dear Deidre, I'm tempted by my wife's sister's offer of a threesome with her and her husband. My wife's sister is coming on to me and suggesting a threesome with her and her husband. She's a sexy woman, and it would be fulfilling a fantasy for me, but is it a good idea? My partner and I have been together for 8 years. I am 39, and she is 27. We have a 3-year-old daughter and a little boy of 18 months. Our sex life nosedived after she had our son. I felt increasingly frustrated, but I've tried to be understanding. Her sister and husband were round at ours for my birthday. Doug, I'm going to reread it because I feel like I might have read it incorrectly. Okay. Her sister and husband were round at ours for my birthday when he made a joke about how often they have sex. I snapped, chance would be a fine thing. What does that mean?
It really mean, it really doesn't mean anything. I'm sorry, I was yawning in the middle of that story.
Yeah.
I was surprised when her sister messaged me later. At first, she was sounding sympathetic and pointing out that life must be tough for my partner with such young children. Then the messages became more flirty, suggesting she could help me relieve my frustration. Now she says she and her husband enjoy threesomes, and she's inviting me round there. She is 33 and her husband is 37. I had no idea they were swingers, but what makes it really tempting is that it would be so easy for me. I'm a delivery driver, so I'm out most of the day while my partner is home with the kids. It's easy for me to get home a couple of hours late without even having to explain, and I could turn up at the door without anyone thinking anything of it.
Tim, I have a question. Tim?
Oh, sure, yeah.
It's just some... because I just try to analyze these things. So if it's like casual acquaintances or you know this person but their partner, do you know everybody's age? And would you put that in the middle of every story, how old they... It's clear that this is made up and the ages are just put in there.
Drop out of the cat's mic. He's off right now. He's off.
Mm-hmm. Doug, am I wrong on that? Do you know everyone's age? And then if you were writing about it, you would put their age in there? It just seems suspicious to me.
And who contemplates cheating on their spouse and saying, you know what, I better write all this down. I better put it in an email and send it away to somebody I don't know, just because that would greatly reduce the chances of me getting caught.
Okay, go ahead with the fake story. Go ahead with the fake story, Tim. Now it's been debunked.
My partner's sister is coming on strong and sending more or less naked pictures of herself to turn me on. I'm feeling more and more frustrated, but if I come on to my wife, she turns away or she says she's too tired. It's true the kids wake up a lot in the night, but surely I don't want to have to forget about sex when I'm not even 40 yet. Deidre says, that is one selfish sister. What type of person would look to undermine her siblings' relationship like that, especially when she has children? Is the sister working through some old childhood rivalry? Be the bigger person and don't allow yourself to get sucked into such cruel and sleazy behavior. Think of your responsibility to your children, but also your self-respect. Tell your partner's sister you regret getting drawn in, and all future communication must be the sort you could let your partner read. Find a quiet moment to tell your partner how rejected you're feeling, and ask what you could do that would help her rediscover her interest in sex. Is it sheer tiredness, and could you take on the kids and give her a break more often? Could it be you haven't been sharing the sort of sex that is truly satisfying for her? My e-leaflet on reviving a woman's sex drive explains self-help therapy.
Yeah, that'll solve everything if we just get a hold of that e-leaflet. that would calm down the hormones.
A lot of e-leaflets this girl has.
Basically, that's what this was all about, is trying to sell a damned e-leaflet. That's what this is all about.
We should order
because
one.
he couldn't figure that out himself.
We should order one. Actually, I agree with you.
Let's see if she'll autograph it.
That could be a wonderful, wonderful episode of Pepper and Genie.
Right. You need an e-leaflet to tell you that it's not a good idea to cheat on your spouse. You didn't know for sure until you read the e-leaflet and paid for it, no doubt. And now
listen. I think a lot of people would agree with you that it's not a good idea. But what if it's your spouse's sister and her husband?
I don't see much of anything that could go wrong in that scenario. So that would probably be the one exception where you want to go ahead and do it, unless I read the e-leaflet incorrectly.
Look, I've never had a spouse, but I would think that would be hard if your spouse had a good-looking sister.
What?
It would be hard to stay away.
Oh, come on. Then you'd be married to the wrong person. So you're going to go to family reunions and look to get lucky.
Oh, I've done that before, yeah.
Clip that off.
That's where I met my cousin.
Oh, the gosh. Oh, and you're not a Hoosier. You just said you do look to get lucky at family reunions. That's where you met your cousin. That's the most Hoosier thing you could possibly say.
Yeah, that is pretty Hoosier. Well, if it's a third cousin, you're okay.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that is kind of Hoosier, actually. I didn't say I don't do Hoosier things. I just said I'm not a Hoosier.
Well, doesn't one make you the other?
No.
It's if you have a polo, then you're not a Hoosier.
No, you have to act like a Hoosier every day of your life to be a Hoosier. If I do one Hoosier
Just
thing...
part-time Hoosiering is okay?
Yeah, like if I go to my friend's little pond and I'm try to catch catfish, that's Hoosier. But I don't do it all the time.
I don't. Fishing's not Hoosier.
Yeah, depending on what you're catching, you can be a Hoosier. If you just do nothing but go throwing lines out there with bells on the end and waiting for a catfish or a carp to hit, you're a Hoosier.
Maybe we shouldn't label each other.
Try trout fishing. Try largemouth bass fishing.
Fishing has plenty of Hoosiers, trust me.
Well, there are Hoosiers involved, but the activity itself doesn't make you a Hoosier.
If you're in a stream trout fishing and you see me there with some waders on and a nice hat and my little thing of lures dangling from my waders, and another guy next to me has got on tennis shoes, shorts, and a wife beater, he's a Hoosier.
But you're not?
And he's cutting up carp for dinner.
Yes, and you're fishing next to me. You're a Hoosier. I am not.
So basically what you're saying is
he's
whether or not
Norman fishing waders.
Whether or not someone is a Hoosier is in the eye of the beholder. Even though there are allegations you are a Hoosier, you say you're not.
There's certain characteristics. No, you can't label me a Hoosier.
Well, people
How could you look at me and say I'm a Hoosier?
It's true.
It's late in the show, and I want to spread good vibes, so I'm going to courteously abstain.
There's times I would call you a Hoosier if you came in here with those cargo shorts and a bottle of water in one
That's
pocket.
Fine, I wouldn't care. Call me whatever you want.
A bunch of gummy bears in the other pocket and a wallet that's bulging out the back.
I don't have gummy bears, but I do have a big wallet.
A couple bags of Fritos hanging out of the other one. It's a Hoosier.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Nice little road snacks.
But feel free to call me a Hoosier. I don't care.
Yeah, I've done a lot of Hoosier activities over the years. So.
Well, Canton would be considered a Hoosier town, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so. But you can go into Canton. You don't have to be a Hoosier. You
Very true.
Just, I mean,
You rail against the Hoosier
look,
label, though.
I used to date a girl from Festus.
Is this the one you got flowers
This
for?
was as Hoosier as you got. There was a day in July that we were painting the house.
God bless you, Iggy.
She came over to the house in a pair of knee-high boots, a leather jacket, a Harley Davidson hat. This bra was as Hoosier as you
Sounds
could
like
get.
a BDSM video is about to start up.
She was great in bed, and a great body, but just a Hoosier. They had a carport at her house.
Nice.
They had a sofa on the patio. I mean, just Hoosier stamped on her forehead. So you can pick out a Hoosier. Characteristics. How do we even get on this topic?
Enterprise Contracting is your locally owned and operated storm damage insurance claims specialist in roofing, siding, and gutter replacement and repair. They can help evaluate your home for storm damage from hail and wind that the St. Louis area continually receives year-round. Work with the great Connor Lee at Enterprise Contracting. Give them a call and just mention the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 HD2 FM at 314-455-5000. That's 314-455-5000.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
I'm as moist as a freshly baked Betty Crocker cake.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Speaking of lesbian seagulls, Annette is in the YouTube chat.
Annette?
Sounds like a 19-year-old.
Annette Benning.
And she posted an emoji.
And what would that be?
Jackson, how would you describe this emoji? I don't know how to. It's glasses with a big smiley face.
Yeah, I think that's the
But what is she
proper.
conveying with that emoji? You can text in 314-881-TMA5. It's the Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour from the Michelob Ultra studios. Come on in, the water is warm. And it's like a singles bar in that YouTube chat.
My guess is in that couple minutes, she'll send out a link to her Cash App. So, and I don't know if she's
And
really
receive about $14,000.
We're running tender for walruses is what we're doing.
desperate walruses, which are the ones that have the most cash. So, I mean, they're in the right spot. They got the honey hole figured out, and now it's just how to catch them.
Annette, call in. We'll put you to the front of the line because right now, Doug, the lines are jammed.
Could it be Benning?
It's probably Annette Benning, 636-9004 TMA. Steve Schmidt Kia of North County phone lines. That's how you can call in to our radio show. It's a big bisexual Friday, so we're looking forward to all of the bi-curious ladies in the area. And now that we have an 18% female audience on YouTube, this is kind of becoming the show that ladies in the area get together and talk about when they meet at the Starbucks at Clayton and Lindbergh.
Well, when they lost 1380 The Woman, they didn't have any place to go, and they've now found us like 7 or 8 years later, which is nice.
Yeah, a lot of women in town listen to HD2, and so we immediately caught their
The
attention.
woman station was just something that hit me like a bolt of lightning.
Yep, that thing.
Well, sometimes you survive the
Yep,
lightning
that
strike,
thing.
and sometimes you don't.
Ooh, did that mess.
Can we get a TMSTLshop.com shirt with 1380 The Woman? I mean, I can't imagine it's trademarked. Doesn't Buck Swope own the, domain or something?
I think he owns the Twitter account.
He owns the Twitter account.
And the last tweet was, "Sup, bitches."
It's made good use of
Well,
that.
don't they have like boots on the tires of the? I mean, aren't those like the trailers?
No, that
Aren't
I
they
think
at like the
Sticker bus?
impound?
I think he sold those. It had a big set of lips on it, on the 1380 The Woman, a big kiss print.
On what?
On the rig.
Jackson, one of the well, you were I think in 8th grade, but one of the first purchases of this venture, which had a lot of people going, "Ooh, I want to invest," was an RV with half the side painted 590 The Man and the other half painted 1380
Not
The
a
Woman.
cheap RV either.
Cost-cutting measures.
Well, I think the revenue projections wound up being a little off.
And what was the RV for, perhaps? Like, is it like was just promotional tool? Or
Iggy, don't say the real reason.
I think just to drive it around town and say,
Right,
oh, look
there
at
you
that
go.
big van. Wonder what that station is.
Right. And you want to look at how WFAN in New York City or the Ticket in Dallas built their audiences, RVs.
When you got it, flaunt it.
Thank you.
Or you can do what Hubbard does. They hire great people. They have great people running their stations. And you can see it in the ratings and you see how happy everybody is. I mean, we've been here 2 months. I'm going to say the last 5 years, I don't even think we had a Christmas party. Here we've been here 2 months, and we already have a employee appreciation day with bagels out in the
Are they out there?
Bagels in the morning and pizza in the afternoon.
Yes.
You can
Oh,
just
you
sit
grab
here
a coffee.
and dine.
We get coffee.
Me and
You want
Doug
some
were
coffee?
like bloodhounds trying to find those bagels.
Tried to find them. Finally
They're-
found them right before we came back.
They are the best. And they don't know me well enough to know that I don't kiss up to anybody.
No.
You don't need to.
I'm dishonest. And Hubbard is tremendous.
Look at you. You've gone from angry to happy.
I'm happy as can be being here. I think people know that.
I think they do.
Couldn't be happier. Tommy Fleetwood, another story, another bogey.
No, we're
Good
going to
luck.
stop
Good.
talking about Tommy Fleetwood.
I bogeyed a par 3.
Okay.
Yeah, 17's tester, Doug, as you know. Let's pull up 17 real quickly. No, we're going to talk engineer design facilities, actually.
Okay,
If you have visibility to your company or place of business's commercial fire alarm panel and system, please email us at fire@edf-rg.com, and they'll have a technician come out and provide a free evaluation of your system and offer the most competitive contract pricing in the market. You can also check them out anytime at edf-rg.com, the official commercial fire alarm services and solutions provider of the Ryan Kelly Morning After and the sponsor of our text inbox, 314-881-TMA5. Jackson, we had a situation, first time it's happened. It's not a big deal, but considering how quick things were getting shipped, we went through Mike Flanagan and his outstanding staff at the TMA STL shop. So many of the green sweatshirts and T-shirts that they were on back order, and as you know, I would imagine most people know shipping can be an issue at this particular moment in history. And so if you did order a St. Patrick's Day shirt, those are getting shipped out today, even if you ordered it within the last week. Otherwise, they usually get shipped out right away. They just went through. So
Right.
Yep. So you can get that TMA logo. It's for St. Patrick's Day at TMASTLshop.com, plus a bunch of brand new shirts and hoodies. TMASTLshop.com. That's where you can find it. There is some great merchandise in there, and that is a tip of the cap to everybody involved at TMASTLshop.com. All right, it is Friday, and Iggy and the Plowhawk have prepared a banquet of drops for us, Doug. It's
Have
presented by the Post
Okay.
Sports Bar and Grill.
Hit the lever, Plowsy.
The Post Sports Bar and Grill presents Iggy's Drops of the Week.
Did you miss David Freese's triple in 2011 because you had to poop?
How else do you get brine?
If you don't use a loofah, I don't think you're really getting clean.
You're good, buddy.
Yeah, because I went to Ladue.
Why do they call you leather?
Who was that, the masturbator?
And they said man syrup?
They called me Fupa, or what do they call me?
Huh?
Talked to, I won't give out the sales guy's name. Talked to Jay, and,
Well, you just did. I won't give his name. Jay.
Tell you what, Game of Thrones is pissing me off again.
I don't really care if masturbator texts in or not.
Hoosier get horny, that's for sure.
I mean, I get too horny. I touch myself.
Everything's coming up Iggy.
My shaft is a little bit too close to porcelain at that point in time.
Pushing P.
Well, this is when the lesbians start to come out of hibernation.
These actresses don't have full-grown bushes.
You just spent 20 minutes talking about hair around your star.
Not full bush.
It looks great on you, Tim.
I mean, Tim's recognizable.
And you service them. This fan page seems to really bum you out.
At least I try things.
Just think about his seat. Like, if his trucker seat could talk.
Recovering alcoholic has been
Proud of that.
suspended for raw dogging.
I mean, you know me. I want to get paid to do as little as possible.
That's too much talent in one room.
I'm not a trashy Hoosier.
Damn, why are you hating, Doug?
They're actually nice-looking butt plugs. That was damning.
There is an obese gay man splashing his Latino lover's cheeks with his man syrup.
Ever since that day in the Tushy booth.
Why would it be a sapphic hotbed?
Plowsy, pop me down real quick.
And I like when people talk to themselves.
Someone else was talking, so
No.
we got bored.
Well, yeah, when they need it, they need it.
I'm very confident that I think
You know who I am?
Billie Jean Ween.
Did you try to drag him into your drug culture?
Get on the Iggy train. He's so soothing.
You want to be a power bottom.
Have you ever been turned on by a customer service operator?
Huh? That was Iggy's Drops of the Week, presented by The Post.
Stay posted, my friends.
Makes you feel good, Doug.
That's a lot of drops.
Well, a lot of people are listening to this show who used to play college basketball. One of them, of course, played at Villanova. His name is Kerry Kittles, and he is with us here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After, calling into the Steve Schmidt Kia of North County phone lines. Kerry, good morning.
Gary. Gary.
Doug, has anybody seen my nurse?
Yeah, what? Oh.
Is my nurse? It says Kerry Kittles on hold to discuss his Zapruder film about nose breathing, and I just went to him. And Iggy, I guess with the benefit of hindsight, I shouldn't have done it. Does somebody come in here every day and disconnect our phone? Is that what happens?
I don't know.
I think Kerry should be on.
Has anybody seen my nurse? Jackson's in here. Kerry Kittles. What year was he with Villanova? 95?
Mid-90s.
Oh, I hear Kerry Kittles.
Yes.
There's Kerry Kittles, Doug. Kerry Kittles is on.
Nice, Doug.
Hey, guys.
Place that phone.
It's me, Kerry Kittles.
Kerry Kittles.
Hey, I was talking in the 7 o'clock hour about the Zapruder film I put on the TMA fan page about the nose breather. That was me who uploaded those videos.
Nice.
Good job,
Kittles.
Yeah, and so I just wanted to, I'm not necessarily saying that it was Jackson necessarily. Just think of me as a lawyer presenting some evidence, right? And I think if anybody were to go onto the fan page, watch those videos, and this is coming from somebody who, for a long time, thought, of course, it's Iggy. Look at him. Of course it's him that's breathing into the mic. But when I was driving in the car and heard the whistling, I hear whistles, as Tim would say.
Pat Summerall, Doug.
Yeah, I noticed, actually, Kenny backed away from the mic, and the whistling got even louder. And for me, it was proof positive that I don't think the whistler is Iggy, and it wasn't Doug. Doug was even talking at the time. Tim, it can't be you.
No.
Can't possibly.
Plowsy was away from the mic. And I would also submit for evidence for the jury that we were supposed to have a camera in Jackson's booth a month ago. Is there a reason why he has not let that camera be in his booth yet?
Wow. Doug, a huge moment in the 18-year history of this show.
What a load of BS this
It's obviously Jackson who has.
This is great. Jackson will be weeping by the time we get to 101.
What do you think he's doing back there that he doesn't want us to know about?
Yeah, I'm blocked. I said they.
Knows, of course.
Yeah, I can't hear me, so.
Now, Kittles, they did. Yeah.
I can't even defend myself.
Kerry Kittles, just so you know, Jackson's talking, but apparently you can't hear him, so it doesn't matter.
It's fine. I'm just here presenting facts. Let the audience come to their own conclusions. This is just what I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm like Tucker Carlson, right? I'm just throwing stuff out there. Yeah. You decide.
Well, you're making sense, so I wouldn't compare yourself to him.
And here we go.
But it's not so much you outed Jackson, but what you did do is prove it wasn't me. So that is what I appreciate.
Kenny, can I also, while I have you on here, can I also ask you a question I've always wondered?
Sure.
Is it a thing that you're just playing around with us, that you never add S's to the ends of words?
No. Examples being breast, scotch. What else stands out to you, Kerry Kittles?
I think breasts is my favorite one, of course.
Yeah, that's just the way I talk. I really don't think about it when I do it.
Could you think about it? Could you try it?
What do you want me to do?
Try it.
What, a woman's breast?
Yeah, just say breasts.
Breast.
In plural.
Breast.
That's great. That's great. Okay. Anyway, thanks guys for listening. I appreciate the time.
Villanova Wildcats.
Jackson, let's get a camera on that Jackson boy so we can see the whistles. Thanks.
Oh, I like that.
Slander.
Right, let's just stop being so demanding.
Who do you plan her, Massimino?
Probably not, but it wasn't Jay Wright. Doug, who coached Villanova?
The guy between those two.
Yeah, you're right.
What a load of BS.
Oh, you didn't like the call, did you, Jackson?
Well, what I enjoyed is that Kittles proved it wasn't me.
With one video that proves
Well, he had the whistling sound, and it was from our YouTube, and I was away from the mic, And then Raby did his own thing where he just inserted sound and said, "Here, that's wrong. I'll prove
Fabulous.
it." And then he just put us talking, and then he started putting whistles in with me. I know you can edit that because you screw around with all of your videos, all of your audio postcards. You edit. So that didn't prove anything.
That was it. Steve Lapis.
It could have been.
It could have been, wasn't it? UCLA.
He coached from '92 through 2001. And he did. He coached a year later. The Wildcats rolled to the first Big East tournament title in program history, led by first-team All-American Kerry Kittles, who you just heard from here.
Yeah, it didn't.
He sounded
it's
young,
not the
too.
voice I remembered from Kerry Kittles. But, guys
Get
age
Steve
a little bit,
Lapis on.
and their
Maybe more of a
voices
balloon party guy.
A lot of time on his hands.
Yeah.
Well, he proved it wasn't me.
You think there's a lot of people out there worried about why there isn't a camera in Jackson's booth?
Probably more than you think.
I think it's probably less than you think.
I'm sure Jackson's not concerned with it.
I did notice today when I came in that all of his windows are taped up with plastic.
They're getting ready to paint.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not
wood
hiding
around. That's
anything.
wood around his window, though.
That's what they don't want to get the paint on.
Yeah, well, you can do whatever you want in there now, buddy.
Well, what would he possibly want to do? He's at work.
I was watching some Grizzlies Celtics highlights earlier.
Oh.
My God.
I mean, you couldn't pay me.
It's fine. It was a fantastic game. Tatum had 37.
You ever think about making a road trip
let
down to
me some
Memphis and catching an NBA game in person?
I'd love to. It's probably the hottest ticket in town right now, though. They're fantastic.
Dude, you can get a media credential.
Flip that off.
Yeah, but then I have to cover, and then I have to ask
No,
a
you
question
don't.
and say,
Trust me, 90% of the people who have them
No,
at
you
Busch
don't.
Stadium don't.
Yeah, you don't have to. Just get a piece of paper and act like you're taking notes, and put a little recorder next to you.
all right,
You're
that's
good
something
to
to
go.
consider.
Hey, Kerry, I know you were calling in about Jackson breathing into the mic. How about you do us all a favor and stop breathing altogether? Don't mess with Jackson, you son of a sack ass. Doug, former Cardinal reliever and starter, Lance Painter texting that in.
Yeah.
Boy,
he came to
Lance
Jackson.
Painter and Kerry Kittles didn't get along, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, clearly. That bad blood is coming to the forefront again.
Tim, do you think Jackson needs his tonsils removed or has a deviated septum? He definitely fights the phlegm monster daily. That's from the Dover Soul.
I do need to get my tonsils removed.
Do you really?
Yeah, I mean, they always tell me that, but I think it's big dentists trying to pry some cash out of me.
Oh, big dentist
A
all
dentist
day.
doesn't do that, does it? That's an eye, ear, nose, and throat doctor.
Yeah, but I think there's a referral process, and who knows the kind of chicanery that goes on with that.
So it's all about money for big dentists.
Yeah, big teeth. And I'm not going to be a pawn in their game.
I
So
wouldn't be if I was you. That's a serious operation there. I mean,
yeah, I know. But I want to get it done. As Tim told me, he's like, you don't want to get it done later in life.
That's right. I'm telling you, Doug. That's
you
the
guys
thing.
still have your tonsils?
I do.
I do too. I never had my tonsils.
I don't mind taking out.
Oh, it's wisdom teeth. That's why I don't. My tonsils are good. I'm thinking wisdom teeth.
Wisdom teeth. Ooh,
That's That's the big dentist trying to pry some
It's
cash
harder
out
to
of
get
me.
them out.
That's a hit or miss, though. I had no problem whatsoever when I had mine.
What age do you have them taken out?
I was over at 590 in the Webster studio, so it had to have been in the late 90s, maybe early 2000s.
Doug, I was just looking for a number.
Okay.
Well, I don't know the date. I didn't write it down.
Smart ass.
But it was in that era, and I didn't miss a day of work.
So 40 ballpark?
Yeah, I had painkillers, and that took away the
Yeah.
pain, and that's pretty much it.
God, what do you call it? Doug, would you call it an oral surgeon? Is that what you
Yeah,
call it?
yeah.
He was fascinated. He was calling people in to look at one of them, how bad it was.
Oh, yeah, you don't want that.
Oh, I hate that when they make a big scene.
Oh, my God.
Everybody
Well, I
stop
think he
what
already
they're
thought I was hopped up on whatever the stuff was that was knocking me out. God.
Was it coming in sideways?
Yeah, it started to. I think the left one I can still hear. Watch me play with my hole.
Okay.
Yeah, left one.
Nice
Yeah.
hole play.
I see
Thank
that.
you.
Then I had a root canal, too, and that didn't really hurt either.
Root canals
No.
at this moment are not what I think they were
Oh,
years
they're
ago.
so easy,
yeah,
man. They're
they
so
still have the stereotype of being brutal, but I don't think that they're what they were. I don't know what was going on back in whenever it was, but
Anesthesia, I think, is taken care of.
That's
I've
the
had
deal?
4.
Yeah, I think I had one that took like 6 minutes, and it didn't feel like anything.
Yeah.
Oh, I have them load me up with the shots though, because
Oh,
I
do you?
have the big fear of like unnumbing during a process.
Oh, yeah.
Like load me up. If I'm gonna be numb half the day,
Load 'em up.
anyways, I would walk out of there just ruined. Couldn't feel anything for like 4 or 5 hours.
I think you're right. A lot of people just get knocked out. Local anesthesia, and you hear that drilling which a lot of people don't want to hear.
It's all about the noise and the smell.
You put on the AirPods. That's what I do.
It's big dentist. Just
I don't have a phobia. I don't mind. I've never had a bad dental experience.
No, I had Joel Myers' brother did mine.
Really?
Yeah, Dr. Myers.
I go to Soho Dental up in Southampton. They've been great. Never had that phobia. But if you do, I imagine it's horrible process to go there.
Yeah.
Think about going there the day before.
Well, it used to hurt. I remember it hurting when I was younger.
Oh, I couldn't imagine like the late 1800s and sometimes
Well,
how
it
they
wasn't
had
that long ago.
Well, Doug, I didn't mean to. I was hopping on a different.
With like a chisel.
The late 1800s.
I was just talking about how like there's very little to no local anesthesia outside of whiskey, and you're talking the dentist didn't really have that tender, loving care that they have now.
With anesthesia, I don't know what does hurt anymore.
I just don't like being numb, like my mouth being numb for 3 hours. Like I think I had some done where my mouth was super numb, and I didn't want to I was hungry, but I couldn't eat, so I went to Frontenac and watched The Irishman for 3.5 hours.
Man, yeah, like
It's a great way to spend the 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I need a snack every hour. Like I always snack. So like my problem with being numb 4 or 5 hours is what Jackson just said.
Guys, the telltale sign of virginity in adulthood is needing your tonsils taken out. Thanks. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko.
Great sexual is this magical place to me that's between asexual and someone who's sexual.
Is that right?
Ooh, it's that loon.
Who was that? I forgot.
Friend of the show. Hey, Michelob Ultra, sponsor of our studios here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. There is a neon sign in the studio, but there is a cardboard cutout of Learn behind Iggy. And she's wearing the Ozzy Osbourne St. Louis Blues shot, Doug, that has become so famous for... what year do you think that was? Probably mid-'80s based on the way Ozzy Osbourne looks at that point?
I don't know the year.
Oh, it says 84. It actually says the date, 84. So there you go, May 15th, 1984. Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer brewed for those who understand that it's only worth it if you enjoy it, containing only 95 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. Michelob Ultra, it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra is the title sponsor of this year's Dotem and Fan Page Club Championship. And Doug, we've got news. We've got news.
What is the news?
So Dan McLaughlin was tweeting out last night. Let me go to this tweet on the Twitter tweets. He said, if anybody needs me to do any emceeing for them, I'm available. Usually I have work at this time of year, but I'm available. And I sent him a message saying, there's a golf tournament in North County in May for a family you met at Coors Field a few years ago. He met Dennis and Denise, the parents, and then their son, Deke.
I don't know.
And he immediately, and I mean immediately, responded and said he is in. He is in to MC the Dotem.
Is that right?
Yes.
Jim Hayes was telling me on the way to the ballpark, wanted me to pass along a note from the Dotem family. He met Mr. and Mrs. Dotem and their son, Deke. And they want to say hi to family and friends back home in St. Louis. That's from the Dotems.
Okay, this is actually on a broadcast.
So you're going to be the whole announcer?
I think he'll probably replace Dottie Pepper and follow the feature group. And then I think also, like Jay Randolph Sr. did a couple of years ago, he announced all the pairings as they headed to the first tee. Kind of like Iggy, you do at Augusta National, right?
4, please. Tim McKernan now driving.
Okay.
Nice. On the tee from USA, Tim McKernan.
Nice. I mean, we're covering all the majors right now. Dan wrote, my goodness, if I could reunite with the Dotems, I'll be there. I'm not sure I have met a more wholesome family. I've met a lot of parents, but I've never seen a family unit this close. Deke is one that keeps it all together. You bet I'll be there. #family.
That's from the Dotems.
Vile family. So vile their son has been suspended, and I mean suspended indefinitely.
How are we picking the feature group, or is it just Tim's group?
Well, I'm not playing in the Dotem this year. I'm going to hang out at hole number 5. Wow. That's the downhill par 3. Okay. I know there's going to be a lot of booze tents. There's just going to be a lot of things going on. And I thought, I'll hang out. I think Iggy's at, did you say that's a 7-iron for me or an 8? Depending, is that based on the pin position? Doug, do you think it's an 8-iron?
I don't know.
Depending on where
I'm
the
getting
pin
new
is.
clubs here in a couple weeks, so I might be hitting the ball a little further with my 8.
So probably an 8 on when me and Plowsy played. I hit 5.
Okay.
Wind was in a little bit, and
wind was heavy.
I hit it right.
Rather be short than long on that hole.
Boy, Jackson speaks the truth.
rather be short.
So anyway, I'll hang out there. So feature group, I don't know, Plowhawk. That's a good question. So Michelob Ultra is the sponsor of that. Registration will open, I believe, right around April 1st. This thing's going to be a pony. I mean, this is going to be a legitimate pony.
Well, it'll sell out in an hour.
It's going to be something.
I'm really excited.
So gather your. I guess you've never played in one, have you, Jackson? Well, I mean, a real one.
Yeah, exactly. Not one where I went up to the group. I went up to the group that bid on me, and they said, "Who the hell are you?"
Yeah, I remember that unfortunate moment.
Get Jackson.
You got a putt for free, though.
You need Jackson on your team. If you want a good scramble player, Jackson is a bomber.
Well, thanks, Eggs.
Wow.
Distance, distance, distance.
That's what you need in a scramble. Somebody can just bomb it out there.
Yeah, my team is not looking to score. We're looking to just have fun, I would assume.
Jackson, where's that power come from when you hit? Is it from your caboose?
Yeah, it's from my tush.
Is it?
You know that pent-up horniness.
Oh. Bill.
Yeah, I got really active glutes.
Have you?
Plowsy was driving the
You've
ball
seen
well
it.
Wednesday.
I was. The only
Is that what led to the 110?
Well, it was
Just
106.
driving the ball. That short game, though, this time of year.
It's tough.
The touch isn't there yet.
Well, 58-48.
So is the
you saw
course just like all wet? Is that the issue?
It was mud more. It wasn't wet.
I don't even really want to play, but I mean, like I said, like half the course is getting renovated at the moment.
I was surprised. There was no real sloppy spots, but it is like once you get your club into the ground, it's certainly that fresh mud.
Fresh mud.
Don't say
Yes.
fresh.
But I think
Yes,
the
this is
greens are the last thing that really come. Like they're gonna get better once you get more, rain and more sun and
They were in
you
good
have
shape.
more light out.
I
But
saw
thought
I
they
saw
were
the
fine.
superintendent before he teed off, and he said, "I was listening to the show this morning, and I knew you were coming out to play. I rolled the greens for you today."
Yeah,
Like they roll the
Just
greens
for
when
you.
Iggy's coming out
Just
there.
for you, for no one else.
Like when Tiger's playing a practice round.
And look, I drove the ball well. Short game.
Let's go
needs
through
some
Iggy's
work.
round real quickly.
We're not really
But I
gonna
want
do
to thank
that,
Skip
are we?
Berkmeyer. And Plowsy can probably attest to this. And
Good putting stroke.
Cletus said the same thing. He goes, "Oh, my God, that putting stroke." I didn't three-putt a green all day. And I think I made a couple of 10, 12-footers for pars. But my putting stroke is good, thanks to Skip Berkmeyer.
Yeah, I think the problem with Iggy forgot his wedge. When my Jeep got stolen last year, my clubs were in my Jeep.
Oh, no.
So I replaced my irons and got a couple of hand-me-down 3-wooden drivers, which was really convenient.
Yeah, the old rocket balls.
But I didn't have a 54 or 52 degree, and when you're around that fringe and trying to use an approach or a pitch, it's tough. So once I get that established, it'll be a little bit
They ever
easier.
find your Jeep?
No.
They
no.
never did.
Probably chop shop, I understand. you
Chop,
know.
chop, cheeky, Doug.
How about
Chop,
your
chop,
clubs?
cheeky, Doug.
No, that was the biggest disappointment because, the van was insured. The clubs, however, obviously had to take care of those myself. So.
Yeah.
And some news on the Fan Page Club Championship, also presented by Michelob Ultra. Of course, we formed a board, and we thought it was important to have, you said, Doug, an even number. That way we wouldn't have any tie votes.
Odd number.
I'm not sure that that's correct mathematically.
Okay.
The first round, 64 pliers, will be on May 1st at Gateway National. A lot of issues coming to the table that we want to tend to as a board. And I put up a thread last night. I said, if you're interested in playing, that's all you got to do. Say it here. Say it here. Now, we know at the very least the members of the show will be participating. I think it's only right. And Iggy, you tell me, you've run this thing.
Into the ground, yeah.
Oh, no, look at it. It's now got a Michelob Ultra sponsorship on it, and Hubbard's really behind the whole thing. To have the past champions have an automatic entry, correct?
Oh, without a doubt.
Okay. I think sponsors have to have an automatic entry if
Without
they
a
want to
doubt.
play.
Yes.
I'm sure that will anger people who are not necessarily...
Too bad.
Okay.
People
And-
from the station, I think, too.
And then, Doug, will probably at that point have, I don't know, what would you say, maybe 45 to 50 spots? Because we'll have a 64-person field. And you also have to be comfortable, and we'll probably have you sign something that says you will understand that your matches could be videoed, and therefore your great shots, and there will be many, could be on social media. And then if there's an occasional unfortunate shot, and I wouldn't expect many, but those could be on social media as well. So, a lot of people have to meet with their counsel and decide whether or not they want to participate. And then the question becomes, Does somebody have to be on the fan page to participate? Guy, Cletus' son, is not, but he's won the event before we were at Hubbard. I think that's got to be grandfathered in, at the very least. And then the gin issue, which I feel like the gin issue right now is like talking health care or immigration. I mean, you divide Americans when you talk about the gin necessity to play in the Fan Page Club Championship.
Most Americans could care less about
I think I brought up the most common thing that's going to happen. And for me, I think it's going to be hard to get out 4 more times. Even for me, it's, I get off at noon, 1 o'clock, and it's still,
You're
you still have to,
busman.
you have to play 5 full rounds. And I think that's where people will run into a situation where it is May 1st. You've only been able to play for 2 months with the gin. I think it started March 1st, if I'm not mistaken.
So nothing
Tim.
you did last year matters?
Well, if you have a previously established gin, then
Are we going by that, or is it?
Do you have a gin yet?
Me, no. I'm just talking in general. People played last year.
Doug, here is my thought. And I'm just a mere one member of our 8 or 10 person, 8 or 10 person. I do count as 4.
But it carries 80% of the weight.
That's correct,
so.
actually. If you read the operating agreement. And that is, I think in 2023, I think the gin should be mandatory. If you can't afford $30 for an annual fee for a gin, which comes out to be less than $3 a month, how in God's name can you afford about $500 worth of rounds and an entry fee? I'll let you figure that math out, Hilljack. But in the short term, because this rule would just be implemented on too short a notice, I don't think we can force the participants to have a gin in 2022. That is my thought process.
I agree with you
2023, it's a
100%.
necessity. 2022, it wouldn't be reasonable. It wouldn't be fair to the majority of people who don't keep a handicap.
But we haven't run into any. We ran into the guy who was an 8 but played like a 20. I wasn't there for that, so I'm just
He was
guessing.
a +5.
After that, we haven't really run into, sandbaggers.
Well,
looking
Multi
at-
took some scrap metal.
Well, yeah, but it ended up playing out all right in the end. It's not like he blew away the tournament, though. He did have a good first 2
But that was his
rounds.
he had a handicap. I mean, he showed his handicap, but no. And plus, it's the fun of the tournament, making fun of people's handicaps.
Well, my understanding is there have been some banty situations over the years. I don't think we've necessarily talked about them, but there have been some banty situations.
I don't know, There's no way around that. You get that many people.
Correct.
That's correct.
With handicaps, there's
That's
no
right.
way around.
But it's kind of like when, Doug, you and I try to counsel Iggy through this fan page crisis he's dealing with. If you have, and I don't know, I mean, there's probably really like 1,000 people who are active on the page, even though there's, 6,800, 6,700 members, whatever, doesn't matter. Even if 5, 10, however many may irritate you, you still have the vast majority, we would all agree, who are, good people you'd like to hang out with, BS with. Same thing with the Fan Page Club. If you have 64 people and 2, 3, 4 are kind of like, this guy, you still don't want to not have the event because you're going to have a couple Bentley Roosters.
Block him.
So
Both of them. Just
So
tell
I
these
think
people, you
that's how I
complain,
would
you get
handle it
blocked.
in 2022 is to, try to use one of these apps that calculates handicaps or just get a gauge. And it could be tough, and theoretically somebody could certainly sandbag their way through. But, I mean, that person will be taken care of. They might win the $900. They won't live to see the day they receive the $900. You see what I'm saying? They'll be murder. And that's just the price you have to pay if you sandbag your way to the
agree
Fan
with
Page
that.
Club Championship. But I think that's reasonable to be killed.
But we make an announcement that, okay, but next year, 2023, we're giving you a year notice.
Yes. And if you can't afford a $30, honestly, I'd like to pull you aside and maybe just have you do some gardening for me. But I think that's the right thing to do. I think that's to help people. I want to help people.
Wouldn't just playing
$3 a month.
in this
Yeah.
tournament,
For
if you made it
$3
through a
a
few
month.
rounds, you would have enough rounds to have established a handicap.
You could
tournament
almost
played in this.
establish it in 2022, not 23.
Not before the tournament starts.
Most of the people will be
No,
fine.
but by what you play in the tournament.
Yeah, but you don't have one
No.
to start.
But here's the other thing. For the purpose of pace of play, a match play score is different than, and the way you're supposed to score
We
for
don't
match
get
play
match
for the
play.
person.
Slow down now. Slow
I
down.
apologize. I realize now all of a sudden I'm starting to show off my ability to speak Latin.
Right.
The way you're supposed to calculate it, because we had an issue at Westboro with there was a rogue situation. I believe the situation is there anymore. Like I said, these things get worked out, but they had people start entering their scores on these kinds of events, and you're going, but you play a hole strategically different if it's a match. Like when I played with you last year, Iggy, and if you're out of the hole, and I'm like, I got a birdie because I'm giving this guy a pop, and he's got 15 feet for par, I have to hole out from 30 yards. I'm going to, play it differently. So then for it to count against my handicap, but whatever, who cares? So you're supposed to enter your probable score, which of course is certainly subjective.
Yeah.
So anyway, to answer your question, Doug, it would make sense, but it's just tough to do. Anyway, the whole point of the thing is for 60 of the 64 people or so, they'll just go out there and have a good time and screw off. And if you have a few people who are angry about it, then, whatever.
And they're always...
And then we'll know it, and we'll privately go, okay, this MFer's never back.
You're gonna have some people that have played a lot in the past. Maybe they haven't played a lot lately. They got a high handicap. But guys like Mark Milton can get hot and have a great round, and then everyone thinks, wait a minute, that's not fair. Well, it is fair. That's just a game.
Right.
Every
There's
dog
no way
has
around
its
that.
day, like on the course.
Well, I do think, from handicap purposes, it should change to how you're playing. I mean, this is, I guess it supposedly could come off a brag, as if anybody really gave a damn. But, Doug, let's pull up my handicap. On March 31st, I was an 8 last year. And then on August 19th, I was a 1.9. So, people over the course of a season can improve or get worse. And I don't think that, somebody who at this moment might be 10 should be held to that if all of a sudden they get down to a 5, or if they're worse and they get down to an 18 or something like that. So a lot of it's going to be the honor system, and of course that opens it up to all hell breaking loose. But what else? I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Nothing.
It's not a USGA event.
Right. Unless you get everybody to agree to donate the prize at the end.
Hopefully we just figure out, everybody would realize that we're going to have more than 64 people want to play in this. We're probably going to have like 50-something spots open. Just to realize this is fun. I know there's money involved, but if you really want to sandbag or cheat your way to $900, knowing that the people that are playing are going to know what you did, and then you're ostracized for the rest of your golf career.
Let me tell you
if you want
something.
to do that,
In
go
the
ahead.
St. Louis golf community, the problems are known.
Oh, yeah.
The problems are known.
They don't go away. Golf. If you get a bad rep in golf, it's going nowhere.
If you can put your head on the pillow tonight, you can advance. Those words have been said to a player. Let's see. Holly Hills Hustler is not happy. He's he's navigating some things. He says all this talk for a total net prize of $45.32. I love it.
Well, after caddy fees, more like you owe some.
Iggy, are you banning caddies this year?
We have to put it to a vote with the committee.
But if we
Doug, it's
ban
an
them,
8-man committee?
Yeah, but if we ban them, Iggy can't caddy either. I know you
No,
brought
I
that
know.
up yesterday.
I know. I would be out too. It's just Sean Barnes got a little banty sometimes where he came out to the course in one of our groups because we had a foursome and everybody had a caddy. They all had their own cart. And Sean came out and said, what the hell is going on? We're out of carts, and you have 8 carts out here. And the caddies just thought they could come in and take carts, and so there's a problem. So I think, not up to me. We'll have a committee, but I think we ban caddies. No more
Why don't
caddies.
you ban caddies having carts?
Well, you can't, if you're playing against a guy, you have 2 in a cart. A caddy, you can't put 3 in a cart.
Yeah, walk.
The caddy
Yeah, I
has
think
to
the
walk.
caddy should walk.
Well, that's stupid.
If there are people that want to just be out there for the party and not play, they could tag along with somebody and maybe be their caddy without needing a cart to do that.
Well, then you're holding everybody up. You have a caddy that's walking behind you. You're up your ball ready to hit, and he's 200 yards down the fairway walking up.
Well,
your
no, when
ball.
you're ready to hit, have the
keep
caddy
up.
start walking on, the cart path, and just have them walk up, and obviously be like your 4 caddy as well. Kind of see where your ball is. And then
4 caddy is the greatest thing in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, is it ever.
Especially when you
It
suck
really
like
is,
myself.
man. I couldn't agree more with that.
Having a 4 caddy, it's like kind of like flying private. Like if you have a round with a 4 caddy and then you don't, it's like, man, really want that
It
4
really
caddy
is.
back.
It is the best. It changes. It makes the whole experience more pleasant. It really does.
The amount of time you look for a ball,
Oh, it's
and
the
it doesn't
worst.
even have to be in the rough. Just in the fairway and some glisten. Like if there's a bunch of leaves, or if it's a lighter
Especially
fairway.
in the fall with the leaves, like having a 4 caddy. We had a 4
Approved.
caddy for the Raby Iggy match. And
Yeah, that was great.
that was awesome because there was a ton of leaves on the course, and he was just spotting them left and right. It was awesome.
Maybe we need 18
Alex-
volunteers for 4 caddies.
Alex Niebrig says anyone without a handicap should have a set handicap of 9.
Well, no, I think 20. If you don't have a handicap, you're pretty terrible. So I think
that's not
necessarily true.
Yeah, that would open up problems.
Yeah, I think a max cap is reasonable.
A max cap I think is but just
I think 9 is way too low.
Yeah,
right. If you don't have a handicap,
there'll probably be maybe 10 players who are single-digit handicaps in this thing. Maybe more than that.
Maybe more than that.
But as I always say, a single digit's going to have a tough time winning.
Yeah.
Was Todd Callahan a single-digit guy, Iggy? I know you should have won, and Cletus screwed you out of the match, but was he a single-digit?
I think he was a 9, I believe.
Doug, is that a single-digit?
Yeah.
Okay.
A max of about a 15 would be okay. There's no reason that if you're a horrible player, that you deserve to win this tournament. Just because you get so many strokes, you can't play, you haven't practiced, you haven't put anything into it, and you got a chance to win. That's not really fair either.
But if you're
Doug's a man of honor, and I respect it.
If you're shooting an 82 and the guy you're playing is shooting 101, I mean, a 15 is, it's impossible. So the single digits would have much more of an advantage.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing if it's an athletic competition.
No, it's if let's just say if everybody's handicap is correct, and everybody played to their handicap, it would be pretty even. That's what a handicap does. But you're going to have days where a 9 plays like crap and a 17 plays out of his ass, and vice versa. Guys like PGA Pro Dan, I know he loves playing it. He's never going to win. I knew when I played.
Wow, Doug, that's bulletin board material.
And that's
for PGA
nothing.
Pro Dan.
That's nothing against PGA Pro Dan. When I played him in the second round a few years ago, I knew he wasn't going to beat me. I was getting 17 shots. I'm getting a shot a hole except for one. And I'm a guy that I'm going to throw a 7 and an 8 up there, but I'm going to have a 4, 5, 6 pars. He's not birdieing those holes to tie me.
Did you see Skip Berkmeyer in the thread last night? He's like, Skip Berkmeyer, one of the best amateur players in St. Louis history, would have no shot at winning this event.
He would be giving like 35
For
pops.
real, he really would be giving. And I was doing the math. I'm like, man, I think he'd have to give, well, at this point, he'd probably given me like 8 strokes.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know that you really have to worry about lousy players who rarely play upset that they don't have a chance to win a golf tournament.
You would be surprised at a couple of things that happen.
Yeah, Doug.
Sorry, you're not good enough. You haven't played enough. You don't get to be a 28 or 35 handicap and think that you have a solid chance to win the tournament.
No, like
Sorry.
Kevin Miller.
Doug, let's pull up Kevin Miller's match in 2017.
Well, I know he put his picture up there last night when Tim was asking who's interested. I don't know if he's interested or not because I know he quit golf. So he hasn't played golf in 2 years.
Doug,
so
he's like Anthony Kim. We don't know what his status is.
So if he plays, what are you going to
was
give
he
him?
magical a decade ago in the game?
What are you going to give him for a handicap? He hasn't played in 2 years.
Is he good?
No, that's right. He quit.
Well, then give him like a 20.
He quit after we were playing one day, and I think the last time he played was his match against Chrissy Runagirl. And I think they played straight up, but they're both like 30s.
What a great
It's not fun to play at 30.
And he, 3 different times on the tee, and he took a swing and whiffed. And he started complaining. He goes, "Oh, well, you count those? I didn't hit the ball. You can't count those." I go, "Dude, you took a swing and you missed."
100%.
That's a stroke.
But guys like that who have been a friend of the show for a long time show up at almost every live event.
He can play if he wants.
We want them to be in the tournaments like that, but they should have no expectations of having any chance to win.
Well, I don't think Kevin Miller has any expectation. He just does it for fun. And I think if Kevin Miller wants to play, and he's one of the 50-something people, he should play. He's a big fan of the show. He comes to all of our events. He hasn't played in 2 years.
He should get in.
So what do we give him? 23, 24 handicap? That's what the committee will decide.
Yeah, this board is going to be. I know that the managing partner at Stiefel has asked to be on it. The CEO at Mercy has asked to be on it.
Yeah. Well, they can ask.
Yeah.
I think the Betts family was looking to get on
I
it,
agree.
but they don't have the time with the new MLS.
I agree. So it's gonna be an elite board.
Yeah.
And we will be meeting at an undisclosed location. Security will be everywhere. You're not going to be able to get to us.
We'll have a hot dog stand.
Right. And we will figure out how to format the 2022 Fan Page Club Championship.
It's a Shishawali event nonetheless.
And it's going to be fun to see people compete at the highest level of the game. So if you are interested in playing, the only way to express your interest, and then we'll see. I assume we'll have more than 64 people interested. And again, probably 10 to 15 spots will be accounted for right out of the gate. You can send your personal attacks and criticisms of the situation to T. McKernan at tmastl.com. And Doug will put this thing on, and it'll go May 1st at Gateway National. And I know that KMOV has requested a couple of credentials, so I guess you're going to have a few people out there.
Just a couple?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I guess it's because it's Sunday, maybe a lighter shift as far as photographers.
I guess, yeah.
But
I think they'd throw everything at it.
Yeah, I feel like...
Or nothing. Probably nothing.
Nothing.
Right.
More than...
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, if you're interested, there you go. What do I got going on here? Oh, Doug, what do you have going on? You have Bertarelli Cutlery, because we have the Bertarelli Cutlery Cuts of the Week coming up here in 20 minutes.
Oh, simply a Mount Rushmore sponsor.
Yeah.
Bertarelli. Marco Bertarelli has been a fabulous sponsor for many, many years. Runs a great operation down there at Bertarelli Cutlery and Supply. They're your family-owned and operated local knife authority in St. Louis. He likes to say all kitchens have knives, of course. Most household knives in need of work are either good knives that have dulled or bad knives in need of replacing. And Bertarelli Cutlery has you covered with their master knife sharpening and a wide variety of the best brands available. So next time you're down at the Hill, check in at 1927 Marconi Avenue. Take a little sniff inside. Take a little look-see around the retail area. They got some great kitchen gizmos and gadgets. Wide selection of the best knives on the market, including Wusthof knives.
Wusthof.
Or give them a call and see what they have if you want. Here's the number. I'll give that now. 314-664-4005, or visit BertarelliCo.com to see all of their services. And they also carry a lot of office supplies like copy paper, office equipment, you name it, office supplies. They've got that too at Bertarelli Cutlery and Supply.
Design Air Heating and Cooling, the official HVAC provider of the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Doug and I have both enjoyed using their services over the years, and we recommend them to you. And on days like this, where it's a little cold right now, Iggy, I was running. I had to go running to the ATM to get you your money. My God, I thought it was like 50 degrees. It was colder than that. Yeah, it's just 40 now. But it's going to get up to, what you got? They get 63? I see 63 on my app. I know you know.
We're going to get close to 65 today.
65.
Mid-60s. Tomorrow back in the 70s.
And then the hawk comes up tomorrow, I see. I guess that's because a cold front will be coming through?
Yeah. But enjoy tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a little grilling tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Then next week, it's pretty much normal. 30s and 40s.
All right. It's fine. We're
50s.
getting close. It's almost sundress season. But when it's warm like this is the time to remind yourself, man, I'm going to have to get my air conditioning tuned up. Get it done now with Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com. The great Seth Goldcamp and his staff at Design Air Heating and Cooling. And Fistful of Bourbon, utilizing knowledge learned from the longest-serving malt master in the history of whiskey. Our master blender has married 5 straight bourbons into one beautiful bottle. Flavors of honey, creamy vanilla, and the delicate light spices of cinnamon and nutmeg will invade our mouth whole. It will always taste damn fine neat. And make one hell of a cocktail. It ain't just a bourbon. It's a damn fistful. Imported by William Grant & Sons, New York, New York. Don't be a damn fool. Enjoy it responsibly. All right, that closes out our Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour. Appliance Discounters, your hometown appliance source, featuring major brands like GE. Coming up in our Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour, we have the Bertarelli Cutlery Cuts of the Week and our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Brian Henson has a win. Timmy Tom has a win. Misty Plops has a win. The best have come out for the month of March. Who can win the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today? Anybody. Send yours in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Hey, this is Tim McKernan for Design Air Heating and Cooling. I am a very happy client. Design Air Heating and Cooling and Seth Goldcamp and his incredible staff, which you can find online at designairservice.com. Just go to the website, click on the Book Now tab, and any issues you may be having with your HVAC system, they will take care of immediately. The customer service, second to none. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com.
How about the summer in Reno? That sounds like an Elvis movie. That summer I spent in Reno.
Oh, it was a cluster F is what it was.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was the only one that was 21. I just turned 21, I believe. And my other 3 friends that went with us, they were only 19 or 20. And my buddy's uncle ran the MGM Grand. So he said, if you want to come down for the summer, I'll get you guys jobs. So since I was the only one who was 21, I got to work in the casino, but I was a change runner. I was that guy you see walking around the slot machines with a sack full of silver dollars. And my other friends got to work at they were stagehands for Hallelujah Hollywood. So I would pilfer a buck off of the top every time I'd pour it into the thing. I'd take my thumb, pull a silver dollar off the top, and throw 19 bucks in there.
Oh, did you?
I was making a killing, those old ladies. Change, please. Okay, I'll dump them in here for you, honey. One off the top, 19 in. Because each one held 20 silver dollars. But anyway, we just spent our money on pot.
That's nice.
Now, I had this girlfriend that I hooked up with down there like the first week we were there. All of us picked up chicks to live with us, and they had duties. Like, mine was in charge of cleaning. Mark's was in charge of, like, shopping and cooking, and mine was so weird. She lived in the complex, but she stayed with us, and when she would go to her apartment, she would, like, float like a butterfly. She would, like, go down the sidewalk, flipping her arms. I'll be back. And she's, like, floating. I'm like, oh, look, God, I got a weirdo. But she cleans, so.
Can you explain this? So you guys show up and then they assign you girlfriends?
No, we found them. They were at the pool one day. The good thing about Hollywood is the girls had to be topless in the show, and they couldn't have tan lines, so they all laid out at our pool, topless.
Oh, for heaven's sake!
And there were always these little kids that as soon as the girls got into the pool, you see these like 4 or 5 kids just jump in the water with their goggles on.
Just listening and learning.
Okay.
So yeah, that was only for a summer. It was fun, but we didn't have a lot of money. We spent it all like smoking pot, and doing bong hits.
The money you stole, you use that to buy pot.
Pretty much, yeah, and the money we made. I mean, I already told the story that we would go to the grocery store and just steal. We're sticking pot roast in our coats and steaks. We had no money. So we just go to the supermarket and that's back before they had cameras, and we just stick rump roast in our pants and chips and hamburger and bread, and we just went in there and steal once a week.
You bacon-skinned boot face.
Yeah. So this guy who ran the MGM Grand was kind enough to get you guys jobs. Do you have any remorse about immediately using that job to steal?
I didn't know the guy. It was Randy's uncle, not mine.
Wait, how did you get the girls to clean for you? How'd that work?
They assigned them when they got there.
No, she liked to clean. She goes, I'll clean. Okay.
But how did you meet? You just met them at the pool, and they're like, I'll clean your house?
No, we met them at the pool, and we went out and had drinks, and we just hit it off. So they became girlfriends. It was pretty easy back then to get a girlfriend.
Sounds great.
Hey guys, stay well.
So they had jobs. Mine was in charge of cleaning, and she didn't mind. And then she would float down her own apartment like some little butterfly.
She must have had a lot going on to have her own apartment, but still stay with guys who assume that she would be in charge of the cleaning.
Well, I just told you, Kat, she would float to her apartment, so she didn't have all the marbles up there. She was missing a few. Well, the best was I didn't fly to Reno. A buddy of mine. I won't give names because one of them is kind of well known, so I won't give his name.
Oh, come on, initials at least.
No,
give us initials.
No, I'm not.
CR.
But they had a
Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth?
No, they had the guy that I'm going to talk about, you don't know. The other guy you may. Anyway, they had a bowling tournament in Vegas, and they were going to drive. So I said, "Can I drive with you guys to the tournament?" And they said, "Yeah, but you got to stay 2 days because then they were going to Reno after Vegas." So I said, "Okay, that's fine. I'll stay in Vegas for 2 days." So we get to Vegas, and my one buddy calls a hooker to the room. I said, "Yeah."
No.
I said, "You're not doing that, are you?" He goes, "Yeah, look, I found this pamphlet on the strip. It's got all the." I said, "There's thousands of them, man." He says, "Yeah, I just need to get laid." I said, "Oh, whatever, I'll go down and gamble." So the hooker shows up. I go down to gamble. I said, "How much time you need?" I said, "How many hours did you buy?" He goes, "Just an hour." I said, "Okay." So I go down and gamble for a little bit, come back up, and he's on the bed weeping. I said, "Was it that good?"
I love her, man.
I said, "Was it that good?" He goes, "She rolled me."
She robbed him.
He went to the bathroom. He came out, and his wallet and everything was gone. I said, "Are you stupid?"
Hard to believe.
Oh, so that kind of
hard to believe.
That kind of turned the trip. We had to wait till his parents wired him some more money, and so anyway, got to Vegas.
That's a cautionary tale. If you ever go to Reno, you wait for them to assign you a girlfriend. Then it's safer.
Yeah, well,
right?
this was in Vegas, and he got rolled in Vegas. He's calling the cops, and they're laughing at him. Yeah, I just had a prostitute and she stole. What did I do? Good luck, buddy. What are we going to do?
That's why they steal.
Yeah, what are we going to do?
After him.
He says, well, I got the number here. He goes, yeah. That's not a number we're going to be able to track and find people, buddy. So you're out. So he had to wait for more money to get wired. And so anyway, that's how the trip started. My roommate getting rolled by a hooker.
That's probably why the hookers steal so much is either the victims won't call it in, or the police laugh when they do call it in. So
yeah, they're not going to
if they
get caught.
can get out.
What are they going to do? Say I wasn't at the room? You got proof I was in the room? Yeah, that's her. Okay. Yeah, okay.
I guess it's dangerous if the guy came out of the bathroom just as they were rifling through his wallet. They might be risking their lives there, but you got to be in a pretty desperate situation in your life to be in that place in the first place.
Someone should clip this segment off because we're accused all the time of providing no redeeming value. But this is a story that I think a lot of people can get some useful information from. We just outlined why it's not safe to bring a hooker to your room in Vegas. Thank you for
PSA.
that.
And if you're ever in Reno and you're getting change for, of course, now I don't think they give you tokens. Make sure you count your money. If you're getting change for 20, make sure there's 20 coins in there.
Check references before you get a hooker.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good one. 3 references or get out. Just whack it. My God.
Okay, Iggy.
I can't tell what's real and what's a drop anymore.
This whole segment's a drop.
Yeah, this is all one drop.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I'm here with Ryan Kelly, and if there's one thing I know about you, Ryan, you keep it 100.
Man, that sounds so good. If you're VA eligible, you can buy a house with 100% financing. That means no money down. And if you want to refinance, you can cash out 100% of the appraised value. That means more money. Our interest rates are always 100 times better. If you're VA eligible, get the loan that you've earned. I'll pay for your appraisal, get you the lower rate, and close your VA loan as little as 21 days. Apply online today at HeroLoan.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Check out listener rewards on the new TMA mobile app. Watch the show live on the TMA studio cams. Find it at TMASTL.com. Get the podcast on the TMA app. Download it now.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
You got to be on acid to understand what's going on this show.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Oh, Doug, you wanted to hear it, and you're about to hear it.
For like the 4th time I played it, but I don't care. It's my
Ox is
favorite.
off. Ox.
Never seen the sun before.
You're going to sing too, aren't you?
This is Iggy's favorite
Lying
song.
on the ocean floor. You should film this because I hit this. Wilderness.
Oh, are you filming it? I saw you got the phone out.
Living
You're going to get a
off
head-on
the
image of Iggy here.
Wild blue.
Oh.
Deeper than I ever knew.
Nice.
Wild blue on a bed of gray. Oh, baby, what a wild blue.
Are you turning to sing to learn? Doug, is that what just happened?
What in the world was that?
Then he got nervous.
Well, we'll have video evidence of it. The Plowhawk right on the scene.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Tears I meant to cry. Dance across the evening sky. And in my sorrow I can see missing you belong to me. Oh, wild blue. Deeper than I ever knew. Wild blue on a bed of gray.
Don't look at me when you sing like that.
Oh, baby, what a wild blue. I found myself when I lost you. You ready?
What's going on here? What's going on here?
Oh, don't
boy.
do the air guitar.
Oh, boy.
Come on.
And Learn is right in
Don't
the
do it.
background.
You can't play.
I zoomed in on Learn right there. It's great video work.
This is, I think, the first time I've been uncomfortable.
I'm very uncomfortable right now.
Brian Henson says, I hate this so much.
Oh, it's a great song, man.
I'm putting it up on the fan page.
I bet they play this on the Arch.
Go walk into Courtney's studio and...
Deeper than I ever knew.
Jackson, you can put this on YouTube if you want. I'm going to put it.
Why blue since you went away?
I was uncomfortable
baby,
throughout.
what a wild blue.
Uncomfortable at the workplace.
Wow, I was just air guitaring it.
Yeah, that.
I've asked for a guitar in here so I could actually use a real one.
But you can't play a real one.
No, but it looks better if I got a real one and I'm playing.
Could you bring in a ukulele or something a little cheaper?
There's like 75 guitars around here.
But you can't take the.
They're signed by rock legends.
You can't take them off the wall.
I'm sure they wouldn't mind me playing
They wouldn't mind.
Eddie Van Halen's guitar.
It's posted.
Wow, just like that?
I posted it on the fan page.
Oh, that's who cares.
Wow, well, you care.
Well, good. Learn won't see that then, so she'd probably be creeped out too.
Well, Lauren was definitely in the background the entire time, and it looks great.
She knows I'm just playing. She's a cool chick. That Fleet would do another bogey, probably.
We don't care about him.
I do.
Okay, but you're the only one in St. Louis who does. And this is a radio show reaching a large audience.
Doug, you just acknowledge we have a large audience.
Well, potentially a large audience.
Victor Hovland watches every week.
Speaking of which, Francesa and Mad Dog are at the BSM Sports Summit.
Oh no!
Do we have audio?
I listened to they were talking horses, of course, and it's like so you can't even hear it. It's so bad.
The first day there was 8 people in the crowd, and it looked really, really bad.
But they're sitting there holding court, Francesa.
Well, he paid him, so I don't know how he's making money. Nope.
I texted Lauren to let her know that
please.
You were singing to her cardboard cutout. And she said, what cardboard cutout?
Oh, yeah, she's playing coy.
Oh.
Cut that off.
I'm already caught out.
You think she really does like you?
She's playing coy. Nobody would take that from her office and without asking her and put it in here.
Aux cord as always. What does that mean?
Aux is back on.
Okay, but what does aux cord as always mean, Doug? What does it mean?
I don't know. I wish I did.
Well, it looks stupid if you're watching on YouTube and you can't hear the music.
Yeah,
I was doing
really
nothing there. I mean, at least when I'm singing and there's no background, you hear me singing a cappella. But when I'm not singing and I'm just standing there playing a guitar and there's nothing, you don't hear anything.
Now everyone's uncomfortable.
That could kind of look stupid on YouTube.
Well, that's why the a cappella version is always is funny.
It is.
Raby made an audio postcard about it.
Oh, we have an audio postcard from. I'm texting with Raby too. Doug, I'm just texting with everybody over here.
I'm sure he
Jackson's texting with the listeners about the Bucks. I'm texting with Lauren and Raby. What do we have here from Chris Raby?
It's called Simply Ken, and it's or Simply Strode, and it's just I think it's an a cappella supercut of Iggy.
And I will have you know that even though now I have Lauren's phone number, I still DM her on. I still DM her on Instagram. I don't bother her with text. You can because you guys. I wouldn't bother with a text. I still use DM.
Doug,
it's more personal.
I don't have the number. I don't have it.
Do you feel a little jealousy that Iggy has the number, but then yet doesn't use the number?
No.
It was a mistake.
That
When
is
she
big of
realized
you.
she texted you and I that day. She was running late and said, "Oh my God, I used my number."
I mean, to not.
You couldn't very well text us both and put private number, and then Tim would feel bad.
What if she would have texted me to say, "Hey, can you tell Iggy to check his DMs?"
Or to say, "Tim, I'm going to be late. I don't want to text. Just tell Iggy I don't want my number out there."
I think the fact that you have a number and you're not texting and badgering this married woman is a real reason to pat yourself on the back.
Yeah, because people probably thought once I had the number, I'd be texting her every day. No, I DM her if I have something
You
to
gotta
say.
feel for her. Changing your number is a chore. Like she's gonna have to end up doing that.
I don't know how you do it.
I don't.
You showed a lot of restraint.
Well,
It's not restraint. There's nothing important that I could ever bother Lauren with. She knows she can text me whenever, but I have nothing worth texting her. I just DM her.
Doug, you remember Gary Gaetti? He was with the Cardinals in
I do.
'96.
Brought us in Centralia.
He says, aux cable, plow stoner.
Yeah, it's up.
So was there any audio or not?
Not of Iggy.
Jackson, you know, don't you?
I saw Plowsy turn it off, and then if he turns it back on, then we're good.
Oh, you can't hear whether it is on or off?
Well, I'd have to be on YouTube right now. Mic's on, the whole deal.
If you want.
I saw aux off.
I mean, obviously, Fowler's established.
Are we gonna have to do this every 9 o'clock hour? Like, I feel like we're playing like Groundhog Day. We've talked about the aux cord. I know we beat topics into the ground, but this one.
Doug, what makes somebody say that?
No, I've never had that impression
the
at
fact
all.
that the 4 years ago are still topics.
This is the new one. Because I think I might have said something on the fan page. Somebody said something about the breathing again a couple weeks ago, and I said, why don't you just stop?
Yeah.
I said, find something else to beat into the ground for the next 6 months. And they found it, the aux cord.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that difficult. You can hear it on the podcast. You can hear it live on air. You can go out and stream. It's the YouTube. I'd rather have him singing a cappella than not having it at all being removed completely from YouTube.
Gentlemen, we have another question for the. Were we going to Raby's audio postcard?
We can.
Doesn't sound like you're that enthused. Have you heard it,
I
Cloud?
haven't heard it, no.
Jackson, sometimes, how long is it?
5.5 or 5:18.
Yeah. With that, cuts, we got some live reads.
Well, could you play a couple minutes of it?
Play and stop it whenever you want, Doug. It's not my show.
I can't. It's not anybody's show, Plow. It's our show.
That's
It's
true.
the people's show.
It's the people's show.
The people's show.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we can do that today. Maybe we'll save it for Balloon Party.
Start the show off with it. Don't even intro this.
Blues and Islanders underway in about, 36 hours. But first, here is Simply Strode.
And you get text, who is this guy?
The texts we get on that show, usually directed towards Jackson, are like a time warp back to like 1988 and the things people used to say in 1988. It is something else. It really is. Jackson, I see his eyes sometimes like kind of sneak over to look at it, and I like want to block him because it's something else.
What are they texting?
Can't say.
Mean things.
Mean things. Oh, they're
Like
mean.
on this, I guess the way I'm going to try to draw. Doug, would you say is it drawing a parallel? But I don't think that's right. Maybe to try to create a picture of what it is without necessarily saying it. I would describe the texts we get and most of the YouTube comments and whatever else, the emails, it's like a roast. You know, it's good material. A lot of it's rooted in somewhat truths, and the people writing it in are pretty, intelligent and, witty with it. This over there is like reading like a comment section.
Right. It's like I went live on stltoday.com or something.
It's just like...
Yeah. God forbid.
But I got to tell you, Jackson at 23, he doesn't care. He just swerves right into it.
Yeah, have you had your feelings hurt yet, Jackson?
No, because Gangster Pete, once again, he told me something very, very intelligent on my on his last day when I was shadowing him. He said, don't ever care about the opinions or thoughts of people who you don't know, and they don't know you.
Right.
Gangster Pete, a wise man.
He said if someone like your friends or your family says something to you that you need to improve on, take that seriously, but don't let any of these, dunces on the
basement.
Yeah, people who don't know you, don't take any credence to what they say. So that's kind of what I implore every day.
You just be you, buddy. You'll grow on them.
Thanks, Higgs.
Look at that, Doug. Look, that was a great moment of encouragement.
Wow.
And I like kind of being a heel because I'm not really a heel on this show. So
Well, the thing is, he's not trying to be a heel. He just says, I don't really watch the Blues, and I really am interested in the NBA, and that's enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that alone. And then
I try to build it up by pointing out that he went to Ladue, and his mom's from New York, and then lived in L.A. And
That helps.
Exactly. I'm helping build the character. But, yeah, Jackson, will you watch the Blues and Islanders tomorrow?
Midday Saturday?
Hell no.
Probably not.
Oh, come on.
At least you say you watch sports. Now, if I said I don't watch the Blues, would you watch porn? That's a little
that
different.
would go poorly.
Yeah, at least you watch sports when you're not watching the Blues.
Sometimes.
It's the year 2022. It's definitely weirder to keep conversations in the DMs as opposed to text message. Thanks. Doug, that's Juan from PP Court.
Okay, Juan.
I don't think it matters.
No, it's a message
You can
either
be
way.
a
isn't
creep
it?
on so many
It really
platforms. It doesn't matter.
And the messages have nothing to do. It's usually responding to something that if she likes something on Twitter or says something, or on DM, like she did yesterday. She goes, my weekly segment on TMA, and I DM'd her and said, LOL, more like week and more like daily segment.
Nice.
So that was a DM thing.
Well, the fact that you said LOL helped. It kind of
What is a cuck?
It softened the creep factor.
There's no creepiness involved at all.
No.
Just having fun.
Bertarelli Cutlery helps us have a little retrospective on the work we've done, and I think we can feel pride with. How long are these?
6.5.
All right, we need to get together for a board meeting, Doug, after the fan page board
When you
meeting.
add 5, and they got to be like 40 seconds or a minute.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They can be, I don't think I ever went over 4 minutes on cuts.
Wow, I'm kind of being shamed right now.
No.
A little harder.
Stop these also.
No, I never.
Well, I mean, you didn't create rabies thing, right?
No.
Yeah, so we have, Doug, right now, what we have is a length problem. We can't take all that this guy's trying to put inside of us.
Now, to be fair, probably the last minute and a half is Los Lonely Boys on the Strode.
Okay. Let's cut that off. That's.
I actually have some business I really want to tend to.
We got time, don't we?
I gotta. Jackson, text me the live reads I still have.
Will do.
You just have one.
Oh, is there? Okay.
I got 2.
Yeah, I think you're off. I think Plowhawk's right.
Okay.
All right, here is the Bertarelli Cutlery Cuts of the Week.
Okay.
Cuts of the Week are brought to you by Bertarelli Cutlery. Visit them on the Hill or online at bertarellico.com. Cut 1.
Now, Marie Curie invented or discovered
Penicillin,
radiation, right?
didn't she?
No, Jonas Salk was penicillin.
Radiation?
Yeah.
How do you live to tell that story?
She didn't. She died of radiation poisoning.
Well, that doesn't seem like much of a discovery.
I think she worked with
So many Einsteins on this show.
She discovered it because she had it.
Well, she discovered that it was out there, that the X-rays, I think, that's her.
So the person who, discovered chlamydia probably was banging whores? Like with that?
I don't know that you can make that leap.
Distancing.
I don't know
I
that
said
you can.
maybe.
This was a renowned scientist with a great discovery for the world.
I just think as a scientist, it's kind of lame that how you discovered it because you got it.
Was her first name really
No,
Madam?
I think she discovered it before she got it. I think
she got it after she
discovery was so great they called her Madam.
So she discovered radiation, knew the symptoms, and knew what it did, and she still, I don't know, it doesn't, it seems like a half-assed
You're not giving her her due.
I give her credit, but,
What if Ben Franklin had been shocked to death with the light and the key and the lightning when it hit the kite? Would you have said, well, stupid Ben Franklin? Yeah, you figured out.
Well, yeah, because after that he came up with several other inventions that made it, justified his genius. Yeah, if he died from an umbrella and lightning, people are calling him like, that's a career that coulda, woulda, shoulda, but didn't.
Okay.
Who names their kid Madam?
Cut 2.
Iggy Doug has withdrawn from the fan page. He thought it would be therapeutic to get away from it, and he will not be on it for a couple of days. And why did you make that decision?
I didn't. Mark Zuckerberg made it for me. Decided that
You got kicked off of there?
I did. And
what?
Somebody posted, I know this isn't a popular topic, but Gemma is worse than Skyler as far as a character. And Gemma being on Sons of Anarchy, Skyler being on Breaking Bad. And I said, how ironic. I just started watching it again this weekend, rewatching it again this weekend, and I agree with you. She is awful. And somebody responded and mentioned...
I think Jackson's just been whacked.
Yeah,
I always thought it would be me.
Working on his studio now.
Well, they're still on our...
Oh, I guess they could theoretically just be on their way around the corner.
Yeah. Let him clean off the ball-peen hammer before he gets in here.
Sound like gunshots. So I responded because he said she is really awful considering who she killed and basically ruining, if you've never seen the show before.
Doug, it was a spoiler.
Somebody got whacked. And I said, I agree. I said, you're lucky I've already seen it or I would kill you for spoiling it for me.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Off I go for violence.
Mm-hmm.
You have been removed from Facebook for violence.
For violence.
Or just the fan page?
Both.
Both of them.
Fan page and Facebook.
You threatened to kill someone.
For kiddingly saying...
for whatever reason, was blocked from the fan page, and it really pissed me off.
Yep.
I mean, not that I care. This would be like 2 free days of therapy, not being on there.
Cut
3.
But I was looking, because
playoffs, just have a pulse.
There's going to be 12 teams in the playoffs now.
all of the construction they're doing,
12.
they've taken all the guitars off the wall.
From what I read is that they're
Because I want to use a guitar on the 9
said
o'clock.
no to 14.
I want to use a guitar on the 9 o'clock song, and I
The
can't
owner
find a
says,
guitar.
"Stop talking for 5 seconds. Just give us 5 seconds to talk about something other than you.
Doug, I think it's 14.
I'm reading. The owners wanted 14. The players said no.
Okay. I meant the proposal was 14.
Somebody find me a guitar.
14 and is it ridiculous?
I need to borrow a guitar for the 9 o'clock song.
Grab one of those Van Halen.
I can't find them.
songs.
They're all off the wall.
Those one-of-a-kind guitar.
And plus, I'm not even sure I'm allowed to touch them.
Yeah, there's a guy in slippers stealing the guitar signed by Van Halen.
Not Hoosier.
You're not supposed to take the signed guitars off the wall.
They're all off the wall already.
Well, that doesn't.
That means they're free game.
They're not
And
your
locked
toys, though.
plexiglass cases.
Oh, we're gonna get thrown out of here.
Well, I wanted to take one.
Can't last here.
Cut.
I'll leave it at the 4.
Doug, what's the difference between a Brazilian and a standard waxing?
Well, a Brazilian, they just put that tape down there and they rip it off.
Well, they get.
Is this only for ladies, or can gentlemen receive a Brazilian?
I'm sure they can.
Do you feel like the Brazilian saves lives?
Having a recreational Brazilian on your star.
Well, the Dirt Star one actually helps the doctor to see if there's any rectal cancer. So I think that actually might help.
does not.
I've often
Read
thought,
the New England Journal of Medicine like me and the Plowhawk do.
I've often thought that doctors should double as hairstylists. Like if I'm going in for surgery, why not, line me up real quick afterwards?
Okay.
A little twofer.
What we're doing is we're making things happen.
I got
on this
shaved
show.
for my heart ablation. I got shaved.
Right, so why couldn't they give you a quick little off the top?
So I'm right then.
Well,
right
they gave me a lot off the bottom
Oh.
because it goes in through the veins in the groin.
Right, so why not just,
So
full
you're smooth as a
makeover?
dolphin like me?
There was areas that were there for a while.
We need to take a break.
Ashy?
No, I can't.
Well, they didn't shave my entire body. No, they just shaved that area where the catheters were going in.
Brazilian Dirt Star, I think, is what they should call it.
It's not a bad idea at all, sir. We're marketing right now.
They weren't taking requests when I was having this done in pre-surgery.
This all came up with
Hey, take
the
a
word
little off the
merkin.
star, would you?
Look how the word Merkin can start a segment. Like to see that from Barrett Sports Media's conference this week.
Cut.
5.
Well, here, listen to Iggy break this down, because this is going to be unbelievable.
I'd already had 5 making the cut, and Aaron Wise was 3 over going to 18.
Okay.
And had a
Gonna go through
perfect
every
drive.
shot?
That's a very birdieable hole.
Easiest hole in the course.
Okay, it's dry.
Perfect drive, and had 210 to the hole.
Gosh, that's so interesting.
Hit it about a buck 98.
Oh, did he really?
Came off the front of the green. Had about
Okay, that is enough. We cannot go through every player and his distance and what he wanted to do.
Doug, this was 3 days ago in a tournament nobody watched it.
40
No one
foot,
watches this stuff.
a little
no one
40
cares.
foot, a little 40-foot chip shot.
Stop describing this.
Left it 9 feet short.
Don't wanna
missed the putt.
know.
Missed the cut by 1.
Enough. And those were the cuts of the week.
Doug, tiny little edit there on the back end.
It's kind of ended.
At that point.
Oh, would you look at what time it is? Let's end this now.
We about had it, so yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Marco Bertarelli. Thank you for sponsoring.
Thank you.
Since 2007. Stratum Structural Systems has been sponsoring a few years here on the program, too, ever since they saved the day on my basement. StratumRepair.com with the great Matt Ford, the great Brett Groman. Stratum Structural Systems online at stratumrepair.com. You deal with waterproofing issues. That's a huge headache. It is an anxiety-causing experience. If you know if it's going to rain, you are going to have water in your home. Work with Stratum, and it will take great care of you. I can tell you it's a local company, so think local, think Stratum. For foundation repair and for waterproofing, it's Stratum Structural Systems, 314-620-8153. Let them know you are a Ryan Kelly Morning After listener, and you get $100 off your repair project. It's Stratum Structural Systems, known for their integrity and authority with over 5 decades of combined structural experience in basement waterproofing and foundation repair. And think about it. Okay, what do you think?
I'm thinking about it. Let me get back to you.
Thank you.
But I think it's a great place, that's for sure.
I see the video of Iggy singing is on the fan pin. That is nice.
With or without sound.
There's no music, just him. Singing it out.
Okay, I guess that's good enough. When you're as full-throated as you are, that's good enough.
Have fun with it, fanners, pinners, fan pinners.
Well, they did screenshot a shot of Doug.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. So they're active.
Reacting in horror, as we would say.
I thought the camera was good. It kind of went to Iggy, then went back to you, then went to Iggy, and went back to you.
Oh, it did.
Kind of that reaction shot.
I thought that was an Iggy solo.
Just your reaction.
Okay. Boy, he sure can warble, this guy.
I don't want to name the location out of respect, but I kind of like it, but I wanted to see what you guys thought and what the audience thought, because I was just posed this query by people in the sales staff management here. For the Dotem pre-party, the Wednesday night extravaganza.
Oh.
How do you think it would play with the audience? It's not about us, Doug.
No, it never
it's
is.
not about us.
Oh, we don't want the attention.
How do you think it would play with the audience to have the pre-party in the Metro East?
I think we have a lot of loyal listeners.
I kind of do too.
That's fine.
A lot of 618 texts.
Yeah, I love the Metro East.
Your boy lives in Belleville?
Yeah, I used to live with him.
Is that Rafer?
No, Mace Dog. And we used to live together in Fairview Heights, so I'm very familiar with that Metro East area. Easy to get to and fro, which I like.
To and fro, I like that too.
Yeah. Straight down 64, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I appreciate them asking what we thought. But I'm like, what we think, Doug, if they wanted us to do the pre-party in L.A., and I know there's some interest at the Viper Room.
Right. That Malibu restaurant's got a spot there, too, that's been...
Nobu.
Viper.
Wheels up. Give them a call.
River Phoenix.
No, on this station, they probably give us a private jet.
I would expect it. But that's my contract.
NetJets and Hubbard, kind of like a
one
partnership.
One and the same. So, but I wanted to, this is the business I wanted to tend to.
I will go wherever they want us to go.
No, I know, but that's why I know we
but
will.
If
But
they think
the
it'll
audience,
work, if they
the
think it'll work,
audience,
I think there's
the audience.
Well, you see when we do when we used to do our TMAs, and whether it be the Edwardsville one or always packed. So and our people will travel.
Oh, Fallon is the first place where Larry Nichols Robin fed by Rhonda, right?
Right, to the trucker.
That was packed, and our listeners in our area are going to go where we go. So.
And it's good to get the Illinois side of things because maybe some can't come to the Dotem. You know, maybe for the drive or for work, but they can come to that night before party, get, the Lisa Ann dating game potentially, get to meet all of us. I think it's a good compromise to have the tournament in the county, but obviously you do have, the get-together a day before, maybe in the Metro East.
I will say and Palazzi brings up a good point, that I will see when we go to Illinois, whether it be O'Fallon or Edwardsville, I've never seen people from St. Louis and I'm not driving over there. Yeah. But when we have them in St. Louis, you will see people on the fan page or whatever say, can you guys have them a little bit closer to us out in Illinois so we can attend? So I think in Illinois, all the Illinois fans will show up and our St. Louis fans will go with us.
Especially for the Lisa Ann. And the dating game?
Yeah. Oh, they come from Iowa and they got a bouquet of flowers.
I just emailed Tommy.
Wherever he came from.
That's cool with us, sir.
I live in the city, too, so it's actually convenient for myself.
I have a helicopter.
I'm not going to mug an ass car, so wherever I drive.
We should all carpool.
Yeah, that way we can sleep together.
Yep.
We don't need to be
I got a
sleeping
van,
together.
and there's a dog bed we could all...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why would we want to do that, though?
Content. We could film the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, make a little campfire out of it. I have a little thing that we could...
We don't need to go camping.
We just get a hotel on the Metro East and in the Metro East.
4 rooms? 5
No.
rooms?
Sorry, Doug. 1 room.
That's correct. It's 1 room.
One bed, too.
It's also in my contract.
Yep.
I always, as a kid, used to sleep in between the beds on the floor, where all of the dirtiness is.
Yeah.
And I think I want to do that again.
It's a good fort building zone.
It is. You get the comforter, you get the multiple pillows.
Yeah,
Your parents wouldn't let you sleep on one of the beds?
Well, my sister had a bed, my mom and dad had a bed, and I ain't about to top into either one of them, so.
You couldn't sleep on the side of your sister's bed as a kid?
When I was 9 or 10, she was 11 or 12, and I ain't doing that, no.
Really?
I'll sleep on the floor, it's all good.
Big,
I got all the comforters.
Big hotel bed, you wouldn't share that with your sister?
Nah, I just slept on the floor.
Okay. Did your parents try to get you to sleep with your sister?
They didn't care at that point. They were so annoyed of it. They just wanted to...
Oh, really? You drove them crazy?
Oh, on the vacations? Of course.
Okay.
Daddy needed more Twizzlers, so...
Clip that off.
Was that you or your dad needed more?
Me, I was just third person.
Okay.
Well, tongues feel good, don't they?
Well, not if it's going to be the tongues of the other people on the dais. No. So I don't think it's necessarily that we all drive in one car and have a cookout and then stay in one room. No.
Whose tongue do you think feels the best on the
Okay,
dais?
that's enough.
I think I gotta withdraw because I think my tongue might be great, but I think when you feel the prickliness of my beard up against the area surrounding your dirt star.
Boy beard.
I think that's going to negate the pleasure my tongue can give you. Oh, I'm sorry. I got asked a question. I answered it honestly. You want me to be a fraud?
Oh.
This place.
It's the fault of the business owners.
I watched a movie where a guy yesterday healed somebody's leg by.
Oh, you watched The Kingsman.
Yeah. Thank you
doing
so
what?
much. I'm glad I wasn't confusing everybody.
Rasputin licked the leg.
Yeah, Rasputin spread the leg, licked the scar, and his leg was healed.
Yeah, sure it was.
And it was super hot. Very uncomfortable to watch all the way through that minute and a half.
What are you watching?
The King's Man.
The King's Man, baby.
Third installment. Get with it, Doug.
Okay. Well, I don't think that that was based in any sort of medical accuracy.
That's a prequel?
Yeah.
Prequel of the first two King's
We haven't finished it, so no spoiler, Jackson.
I haven't
I
seen
won't.
any of them, so.
They're really good. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, when I hear about one man licking another man's leg scar, it really makes me want to watch.
Clip that off.
I'm telling you, Doug, you just avoid that, and everything's all good.
It's the best scene in the film.
The one I rewound and fast forward and fast forward.
I was looking forward to the Larry David documentary.
I know, and he yanked it.
He yanked it. He wants to do it live. I'll do it live.
Nice.
There's something more to it than that, I think.
I'm on episode.
I actually don't.
Don't you?
I think he just wants to do it live.
I think in reading the backstory, I think, Jackson, you sent this as one of the links in the New York Post. He's so, the term that gets used is neurotic, but I think you can go even further into it. And I think that's probably what leads to a lot of crap that I just don't know how. It's like sometimes I'll watch, because I have zero music ability, and so I don't know how you are, Iggy, as somebody who's a huge music fan, or how Learn, or you, man, or Mark Close, anybody with K-Shear, or any people on the point. I'm in awe of that ability, because I have none of it. And then with Larry David, and what I see, like the plot lines that they are able to develop and then circle back and the material, and I know they're improvising a lot of it, but there's still like certain points they got to hit. I'm in awe of it. And his creativity and his mind's ability to fire, he has to be a little off from the rest of humanity.
Yeah.
And so I think this is a byproduct that he goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and he just changes his mind on things constantly. And I think that's what happened, because I think it was a day away from being released. I think that's the way it went down.
I think it was on
It wasn't the
Monday.
thing on March 5th on HBO. It was the thing that was going to be a special debut in New York City for a showing for people.
Yeah.
How about that?
You could be right. And
I
he
don't
does
know.
do that.
I
I
don't
mean, that's why HBO gives him the latitude that, hey, you do Curb whenever you want. And there was, one year, 7 years between
8 and
seasons.
9. 8 and 9.
Yeah, and they just said, do it when you want to do it. And maybe that's just it. He was doing this, didn't want to do that. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do another Curb.
Now, Sunday, Winning Time, the Showtime Lakers
nice
miniseries is debuting. Can't wait for that.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, big time. Adam McKay back at it again.
I'm on episode 3 of Yeezy's documentary on.
How is that?
It's really good. And
Really?
I do not like Kanye.
Genius?
But
Is it
the
genius?
footage that guy has of Kanye before
pretty
he
cool.
got big is insane.
I always thought just for the Through the Wire video. And Doug, was that 2005?
I don't know the
first
years,
two
Tim.
episodes are leading up to him being because he did Beats before with Rockefeller.
Well, he's a producer for Jay-Z, but I'm like, how do they have this footage? And that was 2005, or maybe that song came out before 2005.
Wasn't that College Dropout, so 04?
Yeah, 04 is when it came out, but they were doing the video in 2003 when he got his jaw.
Yeah, Wired Shut. So they've been doing this stuff for 20 years of the foresight to have that tip of the cap. All right, we got to go. Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. And Plops here. Just kidding, and Young. It's me, Doug's favorite Asian intern, Brian Henshin. Just wanted to check in one last time and make a couple more Boots-related points. Point 1, Wrinkles definitely snuck into Learn's office to steal that cutout.
I was gone yesterday at 10:02. No, actually, I had an interview to do, but I was gone well before it got in here.
Point B, I loved the coy, ass-eating grin Boots flashed when he hashtag humble bragged about having the professional restraint to not blow up that poor woman's phone, even though he definitely could because he finally has her number. Weird flex, Boots, but whatever. Have a good weekend, Virgin. Thanks. That's from #1 Asian intern Brian Henshin, firm believer in both quantity and quality.
Brian Henshin. Firm believer in both quality and quantity.
I see what he's talking about now that I see that 3 of the emails are from Brian Henshin.
God. I thought he was talking about his work with the paper.
And Young, in his eye, investigative reporter Brian Henshin of the Indianapolis Star. The top-rated intern in Barrett's intern rankings, Asian edition. Doug, are there rankings of Asian interns?
There must be. Henshin's up there.
That Kittle's cat was clearly a planted collar by the wrinkly boot. The breathing was a problem long before the Virgin's turn on the show. This is like that time Ken texted in about that chunky porn star who looked like a hammerhead walrus. Lies, lies. Tell me sweet little lies, you heavy-breathing goon.
Oh.
Anyway, come on over tonight, Jackson. I'll tickle your tonsils with my dangly hog. Thanks. That's from #1 Asian intern Brian Henshin, a.k.a. Ken Play, the sexy sexologist down South Dakota way.
He's starting to work blue.
And Young just...
Okay, Henshin. I guess he doesn't have to write anything for the paper. He's busy writing to us.
And Young just wanted to point out this subtle Boots gem from the tail end of the opening hour. What would we be without the arch? Nothing. They call it the gateway to the West. Well, if you take away the arch, then what are we the gateway to? A not insignificant pause as self-awareness floods his mind and he realizes he has literally nowhere else to go and begins praying for someone to pay it forward and hijack his thought train. That hijacking never comes. I guess we wouldn't be the gateway to anything, you know? Awesome moment. Christ. Thanks and stay tuned. That's from #1 Asian intern.
Anyone else send an email today?
I remember that part of the show.
Isn't it called the Gateway Arch?
Yeah, gateway to the West, but you
Gateway to
said
the
we would
best.
still be the gateway,
Football
but
team.
what we would be the gateway to. But if the Arch were still the West.
Programming note, I've got a colonoscopy scheduled for Monday morning, which means I'll be spending the weekend preparing my bowels. I'll be evacuating the contents of my colon every 5 to 10 minutes for the better part of my Sunday night. My cheeks are going to be flapping louder than Ken's lips when he purposely smacks them directly into the mic before he speaks. This will be my 14th colonoscopy. I've had one every year since I turned 23 years old. I get a little early to start.
Well, unless you have a severe case of
Family history.
Yeah.
Or unless you're enjoying them.
But I wish I could get them more often. I make the same joke every year about how the doctor is lucky because I normally make most men take me out to dinner before I show them my gape. Doc never laughs, though.
No.
I just wish the anesthesia wasn't so good so I could be awake to feel the insertion of the camera into my toot sleeve.
No,
Pray
that's a
for me.
colonoscopy. That's not a prostate check.
On Monday morning when I wake up quoting the great Doug Vaughn as I scream, "Ow, my ass hurts. Thanks, love the show. Seamus Power Bottom." Boy, Seamus Power, just a rough first round, Iggy.
Seamus Power Bottom.
And finally, I realize you morons are busy with your little competition committee for a golf tournament featuring a field of diabetics plucked straight from the Golden Corral buffet line with handicaps inflating faster than the U.S. dollar. But I just wanted to wish everyone a happy First Friday of Lent. Now, I know that every youth minister by day, OnlyFanser by night, St. Louisan thinks they know the absolute best Catholic church to grab some whitefish dumped in oil with a classic seafood side pairing of egg noodles and ketchup. But I got news for these morons. Before they leave their seasonal Hoosier Yelp reviews, it's all the same. Also, if you notice, the cellophane usually vacuum-packed to the desserts has gone missing. Just relax. It's just men of the parish's Holy Name Society practicing safe sex with each other behind the rectory or in the bingo equipment closet. Hell, I'm sure if you're a female with no shame, morals, or direction in life and just have to fish on Friday because you're Catholic and that rule totally makes sense and makes you a good person that day, you could just book a seat at the chef's table for a 5-course private Asian ditch carp dinner by Ken and his FEMA trailer. It would probably be free anyway, given the Paola Missouri River catch of the day and the $8 incoming DraftKings payout. Maybe not, though, given Ken is already bitching about Tommy Fleetwood and is worried he may not be able to make $15 down payment for his dart carton or have the check bounce at the local QT. By the way, $70 on cigs, $30 on gas, and still doesn't know how a company match for a 401k works. Get Mark Hanna on the line for another freebie personal budget and finance for Senile Dummies course. Christ almighty, Ken. P.S. It's the Walrus People Invitational. If you're not going to send me my backdated Mizzou, Florida tickets as their value decreases with the two kids who executed the quote-unquote lob that game starting spring practice at brand new schools, at least name the damn golf tournament properly. That comes from Hall of Famer Carlos Spicy Wiener. That's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day.
Carlos Spicy Wiener.
What you got?
Well, just for his prolific amount of work, I guess I got to go with Brian Henson.
I didn't think any of them were any good. If Henson would have just sent in one, and it would have been the second one.
So you're going to penalize him.
I'd have voted, but you sent in three. Seamus Power wasn't very good, and I expect more out of Spicy Wiener, but process of elimination, I'll give it to Spicy Wiener.
I'm going to go Brian Henson.
Yeah.
Well, that's a nice little W for number one.
Brian Henson has won his second Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day, the month of March, and takes the lead in a star-studded month, too. All right, time for us to shut it down. Balloon party coming up in a matter of like 10 seconds on 101 ESPN. Action Jackson and I on 101 ESPN, and then TMA all day here on 105.7 HD2. We got to go.
You're hearing TMA all day on KP.